Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
The Cleveland Orchestra returns to Miami this May for a final weekend of extraordinary concerts. An electrifying program you won't want to miss, featuring Holst's epic orchestral suite, The Planets. The Cleveland Orchestra in their final Miami concerts, May 2nd and 3rd at the Adrian Arsh Center. Tickets at arshcenter.org.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. Coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. It sucked.
This is ESPN 106.3. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this special presentation of Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 1063. The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 1063.
Oh, it's a cannon shot! Go ahead and give him the goal of the league!
This is the Inter Miami pregame show, live from the ESPN West Palm Studios. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Two very intriguing teams about to do battle on Lake Erie, believe it or not. Cleveland, Ohio is the location. The Inter Miami Herons and the Columbus Crew about to do battle coming up here in about 30 minutes. We'll hear from our good friend Ken Levica on the play-by-play call. But welcome on in to our pregame show. We are powered by Audi. Get on out to your local South Florida Audi dealer today, folks. That brand new Q6 e-tron is calling your name. And I'll tell you what, it would be a statement to pull into that lot at Chase Stadium in the brand new Q6 e-tron. Effortless power, amazing gas mileage. Get on out to your local South Florida Audi dealers. They power our Inter Miami pregame show. Well, I have the starting 11 for Miami, and I'll tell you what, Lionel Messi's playing. There you go. There you go. Lionel Messi's playing. I can't tell you how many people texted my phone this week asking me, is Lionel Messi going to play? Folks, I find this out 30 minutes before the game, just like you guys. So Lionel Messi will be in the lineup. Here we'll start from the back and work our way up top for the starting 11 for our Herons. You got Oscar Ustari between the goalposts, Marcelo Wiggin, Luan, Noah Allen, Jordi Alba. So that's your back line. Alba, Allen, Luan, and Wiggin. Gonzalo Luan, by the way, playing center back. We've seen him play left back, right back at times. We even see Noah Allen step out and play left back and right back at times. But your two center backs are Luan and Allen. Jordi Alba obviously playing on that left side. Marcelo Wiggin on the right side. Sergio Busquets handling the midfield. Deep lying playmaker, as I like to call Sergio Busquets. You're going to see him play defense. You're going to see him come up in the attack and make some passes through. I'm interested to see if his long ball passes are going to be a factor in this game. Plenty of times throughout his time with Inter Miami, Sergio Busquets has been a weapon with that over-the-top through ball. So Busquets managing the middle. Yannick Bright managing the middle as well. And Tadio Allende going to be coming off of the left side. Lionel Messi off the right. And Suarez playing up top at the striker. And I apologize, I forgot about Benjamin Kremasky. Kremasky going to be playing an attacking-esque midfielder role today. We'll have to see how this lineup looks when it gets out onto the pitch. But right now on the graphic, I'm seeing a 4-2-4. But knowing Javier Mascherano, knowing how this team has played at moments this year, I'm assuming Kremasky going to be centralized as an attacking mid and have Busquets and Bright be the midfielders on their respectable side. Bright box to box. We're going to see Bright moving on defense. We're going to see Bright moving on offense, doing a little bit of everything. And to be completely honest, Yannick Bright has been an unbelievable player for Inter Miami so far this year, arguably one of their MVPs. Did not have a good game last game, but I'd say about 90 to 95% of the time he's been out there on the pitch. Yannick Bright has been making an impact for the best. Now, that is your starting 11 for the Herons. I mentioned the Columbus Crew. Now, the Crew, one of the more successful franchises in MLS history. They're 2 years separated from winning a MLS Cup in the playoffs. This is a team that when you think of the MLS, you really in years past think of the Columbus Crew. Now, I understand, at least in my opinion, Inter Miami is the team to beat in the MLS, our Herons. But when you think of the tradition, when you think of just exactly a quality team, the Crew is somebody that comes to mind. And now this game being played in Cleveland, Ohio, but they are home in Columbus. And I'm going to find you guys a starting 11 here in just a moment. But, you know, it's basically the Battle of Ohio today, right? You got the entire state of Ohio trekking up to Cleveland for this matchup. And a big fixture, to say the least, for this franchise. Now, I'm assuming they probably a lot of the fans probably wanted to play this game at home, but it is going to be at Cleveland Brown Stadium. And from someone who really has, you know, grew up going to games at Brown Stadium, season tickets, my family for the better of 40 years. It's a great place to watch any venue. Now, I can't promise you we're going to have great weather, and I think that's something that Ken Levick, who is on site at Cleveland, is going to tell us when we talk to him, because it's raining there. I talked to my dad this morning. It was raining all day. It's supposed to, clear out at some point, but I think weather could be a factor today. I think it's going to be a wet one there up in Cleveland. But the Columbus Crew, I'll work on getting you guys 11 on that side. But as I mentioned for the Herons, Messi playing tonight, and you're going to have really the only difference with Cremaschi, I think, in this lineup from past, is Cremaschi is going to be playing that attacking midfielder role. Telasco Segovia has been starting that position throughout the year, and then Tadio Allende back on the left side. So Allende back on the left. And we do have a starting 11 for the Columbus Crew. We got Russell starting up top, and Rossi, one of the better right wing players in the MLS. You got Rossi coming out the right side. Gazdag, and Gazdag, folks, we know Gazdag from the Philadelphia Union. Gazdag actually scored against the Inter Miami Herons, and it's looking like he is sneaking into the starting 11 today. So kind of a familiar face that the Herons have already seen at some point this year. So Gazdag going to get the nod on that left side. You got Niab in the middle, I'm assuming playing that attacking role. Zawadzki playing midfielder, and then you got Chamberlain in the midfield as well. Arfsten playing fullback, Amunda playing center back, Morera playing center back, and Farsi at the right back. And then between the goalposts, it's going to be Schultz for the Columbus Crew. This is the first place Columbus Crew, by the way. Inter Miami sitting in third place. They do have a game in hand. They've only played 7 games comparatively to the 8 that a lot of teams have already played. The only 2 teams in the MLS that have played 7 games at this point, or in week 9, by the way, this is match week 9, are the New England Revolution and the Inter Miami Herons. So those are the 2 teams that are sitting at the 7-game mark. But the Herons technically in third place, but there are 2 teams right now tied for second. 2 teams right now tied for second in the Eastern Conference with Charlotte and FC Cincinnati. And you got the Herons sitting in third with 15 points. Let's take a quick timeout, folks. This is the Inter Miami pregame show on the Inter Miami Radio Network. We are powered by Audi. When we return, we'll look back from last week. We'll hear from Ken Levick on a couple of calls and highlights that we had against Toronto. A lot of chances to score, but 0-0 it finished. So we'll catch you up on Inter Miami, and we'll continue to give you the 11s and discuss the game coming up between the Columbus Crew and Cleveland. This is the Inter Miami Radio Network.
Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle,
thanks for sending,
Smith,
Ken.
Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
PNC Bank couldn't be more excited to serve the South Florida community. But you may be wondering, isn't PNC that boring bank? Well, is starting a business or being the first person in your family to go to college boring? For 160 years, they've done the occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results for their clients. That's why they have dedicated teams throughout the local area ready to help you unlock your own brilliance. See what boring banking can do for you. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver where others can't. Visit ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Hi, this is Evan Cohen here with a special message for the ESPN 106.3 streaming audience. If you're not listening to our stream right now, just cover your ears for a second. This won't take long. Thanks to a recent software upgrade, ESPN 106.3 now streams in stereo. Isn't that amazing? ESPN 106.3 in stereo, left channel, delay, echo. Wow. All made possible by modern technology at ESPN 106.3. Thank you, scientists. ESPN 106.3, streaming now in stereo.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the Inter Miami pregame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Welcome on back, folks. The Inter Miami pregame show. We are powered by Audi. Get on out to your local South Florida Audi dealer today. The Q6 e-tron's calling to folks one of the, I think, most souped up cars that you could get on the market. Give it a Google search. Do me a favor. If you're driving in your car, have your wife, have one of your kids, type in Q6 e-tron into your Safari or into your Apple iPhone or on your Android and see exactly how souped up that thing is today. You could test drive one of those at your local South Florida Audi dealers. You could also visit AudiOffers.com to learn more. That is AudiOffers.com to learn more. We got Inter Miami Herons soccer coming up today. 4:30 kickoff, roughly 4:40-ish kickoff coming up in Cleveland, Ohio at Cleveland Brown Stadium. The Columbus Crew is the opponent. And it's time to talk about what the Crew exactly are going to be looking like tonight. And we talked that they're starting 11. They got Rossi up top. They got the usual suspects that they like to play. And they're incredibly imposing upon their own opponents. In some of the biggest games, they've managed to kind of steal the momentum. The Crew are momentum stealers. Now, I understand they're out of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, but they are going to be playing just like our Inter Miami Herons, folks. They are going to be playing in that Club World Cup that is coming up this summer. So when you talk about quality, you talk about the quality of the player, the Columbus Crew pretty doggone good. They could maybe go. I'm not going to sit here and say they have the better roster than Inter Miami. That would be foolish. But at the same time, they have enough quality to, I think, maybe surprise a couple of people in the Club World Cup. Obviously, when you have teams like Real Madrid and Manchester City, it's going to be tough with the quality that they have. But I still think that the Columbus Crew are going to show up in that tournament and surprise a couple of people. And as far as this year, they're in first place for a reason. I mentioned Inter Miami has a game in hand, but they are still one of the best teams in the league. As I've read the analysis breakdown from MLS.com and on a bunch of their games, they play the best ball in the league. And they've been incredible, and they've been imposing upon their opponents for years now. 2 years separated from that MLS Champions Cup, the playoff cup, and they understand and know how to win in this league. So they are not to be taken brightly. And Inter Miami has a strong lineup, which we will go through again here in just a little bit. We're about 15 minutes away, about 15-ish, 20 minutes away from that ball rolling in Cleveland, Ohio. I wanted to get everybody caught up on what happened last week, too. You heard it right here on your Inter Miami radio network. Our good friend Ken Levica on the call against Chicago FC. Almost said Toronto, folks, against Chicago FC. This one was in Chicago. It ended in 0-0 fashion. And when you go back and hear some of these highlights, I mean, Lionel Messi had a couple of spot kick chances. He had a big chance, I think, within the first 3 minutes of the game. Let's take a listen to that big chance and what seemed like was going to be a game Inter Miami could possibly pepper the opposing side, Chicago FC, all game.
Delivery, free kick from about 40 yards out to the edge of the area, headed down easily by Chicago, but a giveaway. Kromoski, a steal. Now Messi, a one-touch off his left foot, just outside the area, decided to give it a go at Brady, who had to leap and poke the shot over the crossbar. You think Messi is feeling confident or what? Kromoski the steal, short feed to Messi, touched it onto his left foot and let her rip. And there's your first shot on goal in the 3rd minute.
Yeah, and Messi wasn't done either, folks, with chances.
Messi approaches. Messi curls it to the far post. It went off the crossbar. He nearly scored.
Messi was all over the opposing goal. The problem is we could not get in this game, folks. 0-0. 0-0. This game ended, and another one for Lionel Messi.
Brady actually got a hand on it. He pushed it with his fingertips off the bar. It's going to be a corner for Inter Miami. Messi forces a Brady save, and it was a fine one.
So Messi was all over the opposing defense at Chicago FC and the keeper for Chicago, but just unable to get a goal across that line. And this end of the game, this is the end of the game sequence where Chicago FC has a chance. Inter Miami has a chance. A great back and forth courtesy of our friend Ken Levica.
A return pass from Haile Selassie. Bombo left foot in the penalty arc. Guess what? Ustari, another save, diving to his right. Oscar Ustari single-handedly grabbing a result for Inter Miami on this Sunday. And now a long ball forward, Allende for Inter Miami. Allende put a right-footed shot wide of the far post. He was behind the defense, and he sent it wide. Back and forth action. Allende's going to be sick.
A lot of chances in the game. And Allende, to Ken's point, had a real good look at it, folks, but just came up short, and Inter Miami ends up taking the draw. And that is the second straight draw our Herons have had in league play within the MLS. I mentioned the game in hand. They're in a great spot. If there are some Inter Miami fans out there kind of freaking out a little bit, let's remember how long of a season it is. We are going to be having college football on this radio station while we have Inter Miami soccer on the station. Ken is going to be calling FAU football games while we have Inter Miami soccer still going on. That's how long the season is, folks. And Inter Miami, they did the whole have the most points in the league. They did the 73 points on the table. I think this Heron squad and Javier Mascherano understands that the MLS playoffs is the ultimate goal. Be playing the best possible soccer while rolling into the MLS playoffs and try to win a cup for the team for the first time in franchise history with the MLS Cup. This is the Inter Miami pregame show, folks. As we've mentioned, we're powered by our good friends at Audi. Get on out to your local South Florida Audi dealers. Now, one thing I hope Inter Miami can clean up a bit are a couple of the turnovers that have been happening for the Herons. Now, I want to play this next clip. from the pass game on Sunday. Maxi Falcone came up big on a defensive stance, but turnovers have been leading for chances for other teams so far within the MLS. Let's take a listen to Falcone denying a possible goal for Chicago FC last week.
Koopman left-footed shot. Falcone denial as a Chicago Fire player was standing unmarked at the edge of the 6-yard area. Falcone saves the day. Throw in Chicago as it was cleared far side.
And then another chance for Chicago FC in the game.
Now here's Zinkernagel with a right-footed blast just inside the area on the near post and a diving save of Starry, and he caught it, didn't allow a rebound. That was wonderful. It was all set up from Gutierrez racing up the right channel, and Zinkernagel was denied by Ustari emphatically.
Oscar Ustari has been the man, I think, or rather, the man of the match the last 2 matches. Now, I think the match against LAFC, he did not receive it, but certainly against Chicago, he was a man on his head. You know, the old saying in soccer and in hockey, he's on his head. Well, Oscar was truly on his head in this game. And I mentioned some things I want our Herons to clean up are those transition turnovers. Here's a perfect example of a transition turnover that led to a chance, but big stone wall. Oscar Ustari between the posts made a big play.
Bad pass and a steal. Gutierrez picked off a bad ball from Aviles. Gutierrez 1v1 tried to hold it up on his heel. Instead, play continues. It fell to the right foot of Pineda, who let it flat from 30 yards. Ustari a diving save to his left-hand side to keep it 0-0.
So Oscar has been coming up huge, not only in that CONCACAF Champions Cup, but within the MLS. He did exit a game, I believe it was a couple of games ago within the MLS. He picked up a knock, and then Drake Callender was starting in a game and came in a game, rather, played big minutes. I believe it was the last one we were on site. I was on site for and actually live at Chase Stadium and not back at the City Place Studios here. With ESPN 1063. I believe it was the Union game. That's what it was. It was the Union game where Oscar picked up a knock and Drake Callender had to come in and see that one through for the full 3 points. And I mentioned Drake Callender. He is going to be a backup tonight. He's going to be a sub tonight. Give you a couple of the subs, folks. Callender, Frey, Aviles, Falcone, Martinez, Segovia, Pico, Taylor, Abando. So those are your substitutes coming up tonight for the Inter Miami Herons. Drake Callender, Ian Frey, Toto Aviles, Maxi Falcone, Talasco Segovia, Bafa Pico, Robert Taylor, Abando, the new transfer, the 18-year-old that did get some minutes against, I believe, against Toronto. Had a big chance to maybe score a goal against Toronto, took a really big touch. I think he's going to get better with time. Let's keep in mind he's 18 years old too. I am excited what Abando is going to offer to this team. He is on loan. And Atletico Madrid reportedly actually bought his full contract, and then they loaned him out to our Inter Miami Herons. So that is your bench coming up tonight for the Herons. Let's actually go through that starting 11 again. If you're just joining us, we do have a starting 11, and welcome on in to our pregame show here on the Inter Miami Radio Network. We are powered by our local South Florida Audi dealers. So start our way back, work our way up top. You got Oscar Ustari between the sticks in the net. Marcelo Wiggin on the right back. Gonzalo Luan playing right center back. Noah Allen playing left center back, and Jordi Alba playing left back. So Alba, Allen, Luan, and Wiggin. That is your back four, and Oscar Ustari between the net and between the goalposts. Sergio Busquets and Yannick Bright, the two usual suspects in the midfield. We've seen Federico Redondo play in that midfielder role for Yannick Bright as well. But Bright, we mentioned him earlier in the pregame. Every time he's been out there on the pitch, 95% of the time he's been out there on the pitch this year, he's been making plays and proving he belongs in that starting 11. So I'm excited to see Bright go box to box tonight. Busquets going to be playing what I call that deep lying playmaker role. He's going to be making plays on the defensive side. He's going to be joining the attack and also making plays through the passing game. You know, I love his mid-air through balls, as I call them, his air balls, his air through balls that he does. Too many times I've seen Sergio Busquets with the ball on his foot give a lob pass in the air, which leads to a chance. I go to him and Tadio Allende have a really good hookup so far this year. And speaking of Allende, he will play left wing, Messi right wing, and Luis Suarez playing the number 9. And up top, Benjamin Kromaski will be playing an attacking midfielder role coming up, where usually we see Telasco Segovia. Now, the graphic I got, 4-2-4, 4-2-4-1, obviously with the keep, is what I'm seeing. But I still think it's going to be that 4-3-4 that we've seen Inter Miami run. Jordi Alba will join the attack. You'll have Allen, Luan, and Wiggin at times playing 3 at the back, with Alba joining the attack and with his long balls. If I'm going to give flowers to Sergio Busquets on his long balls, we certainly have to do the same thing for Jordi Alba, who has been, made a career off of it at Barcelona and is one of the best left backs in Barcelona history. And that says a lot, for, the kind of caliber team that Barcelona is. That definitely says a lot about one Jordi Alba. So that is the 11 for the Herons. And as I said, Calendar, Frey, Aviles, Falcone, Martinez, Segovia, Pico, Taylor, and Abando coming off the bench for your Inter Miami Herons. So let's take our second timeout. This is the Inter Miami pregame show. We are powered by our local South Florida Audi dealers. And when we return, we'll give you that 11 for the Columbus Crew again, and we'll continue to break down the upcoming fixture between the Crew and the Herons. We got our Herons doing battle with the Columbus Crew live at Cleveland Brown Stadium in just a few moments. We are just under about 15 minutes until kickoff. We'll hear from Ken Levica 2 segments from now. You're listening to the Inter Miami pregame show.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. Theo here, and for me, EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing is my go-to, and it should be yours too. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They'll make sure your air and water flow perfectly. EDS is a train comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. Go to edsisyes.com. That's edsisyes.com. When comfort matters, EDS is yes.
At PNC Bank, they pride themselves on being boring. But the truth is, they couldn't be more excited to serve the South Florida community. For nearly 160 years, they've quietly toiled away to deliver brilliant results for their equally brilliant clients. Now, their dedicated financial teams are ready to do the boring work to help you unlock your own brilliance. Let's see what boring banking can do for you. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the Inter Miami pregame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Welcome on back, folks, to our pregame show here on our Inter Miami Radio Network. Our final segment before we send it on over to our good friend Ken Levica and get that ball rolling in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's go through your 11s again. For Inter Miami, Ustari, you got starting at goal, and then we're going to work from the back to the top. From the back to the top, got Oscar Ustari in net, Jordi Alba, Noah Allen, Luan, and Marcel Wigan. That is your back line. So Alba left back, Allen left center back, Luan right center back, Wigan right center back. Your midfield, Sergio Busquets, Yannick Bright, Benjamin Kromaski. Right wing, Lionel Messi. Yes, folks, Messi is playing. Luis Suarez playing up top, and then Tadio Allende back in the starting lineup. Allende was not in that starting 11 last week against Chicago FC. He is in the 11 coming up for the Herons. Now, let's roll and flip things on over to the Columbus Crew side. Gazdag, how about that? He's back. We saw him against the Philadelphia Union. He scored for the Philadelphia Union in the fixture between the Herons and the Union. But Gazdag, recently acquired by the Columbus Crew, he's going to be starting on the left wing. You're going to have Russell Rowe playing striker for the Crew today, and then Rossi playing right wing. Rossi, one of the staples for the Crew. Next, you got Zawadzki playing in the midfield, Nagbe in the midfield, and Shembost playing in the midfield. And then in the back line for the Columbus Crew, in the back of the trap, you got Fonzie, you got Moreira, you got Amundsen, and Ariston. So Ariston, Amundsen, Moreira, and Fonzie, and then Schultz in between the net. It's battle of first versus third. Inter Miami does have a game in hand. They have 7 games played so far. The Crew have 8, and the Crew are 2 years removed from winning a cup within the MLS, from winning that playoff MLS Cup. Obviously, last year, they were not able to attain it, but they won that cup 2 years ago, the Columbus Crew. Let's take a timeout, and when we come back, we will hear from Ken Levica. We got the ball about to be rolling there up in Cleveland, Ohio. Looking forward to having a great first half. I will catch up with you guys coming up at halftime. We will be having some highlights and plenty more on the halftime show right here on your Inter Miami Radio Network. Ken Levica is next. Stay with us.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Trans World Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 24 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and Men's Lacrosse title. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this special presentation of Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 106.3. Now get to the pitch.
Oh, it's a cannon shot. Go ahead and give him the goal of the week.
Here's Ken LaVicka.
It doesn't get much bigger than this. The lone two unbeatens remaining in MLS play, and they are going to match up in front of nearly 70,000 fans. Lionel Messi in the Inter Miami Roadshow in Cleveland on this Saturday early evening to take on rival and the side that finished second to Inter Miami in the Supporters Shield a year ago, Columbus Crew. It promises to be an explosive one here on ESPN West Palm. We welcome you to Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio. I am Ken LaVicka. Inter Miami at 4 victories, no defeats, 3 draws, 15 points in the table, 4th in the Eastern Conference and 5th in the Supporters Shield coming into today against the Eastern Conference leaders, Columbus Crew. They are 5-0-3 with 18 points in the table. Yes, that means Inter Miami can draw even with Columbus atop the Eastern Conference table, depending on some other results, of course, in this match weekend 9 in MLS. But Columbus Crew, they, even without the star power that they've been able to sport over the last couple of seasons, find themselves in a familiar place looking down at everybody else in the Eastern Conference. Well, last season, boy, was this a colorful 3 matches between Inter Miami and Columbus Crew. Yes, Inter Miami swept the MLS season series, a victory at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, and then the Supporters Shield clincher in Columbus. That dramatic affair, a 3-2 Inter Miami victory. It featured 2 first-half goals from Lionel Messi, including a sensational, a dazzling free kick to get everything rolling in the right direction for Inter Miami. But back and forth, there was tension. It was uncomfortable in the second half. Luis Suarez eventually was able to capitalize off of a defensive mistake from Columbus and score the 3rd Inter Miami goal of the match in the second half. But 2 penalties were conceded by Inter Miami's back line late in this match. 1 conversion from the spot, and then Drake Callender, an amazing stonewalling of a second potential match time penalty. And Inter Miami was able to hang on and bring the second piece of franchise hardware home, the 2024 Supporters Shield. But I've only talked about the 2 instances that Inter Miami got the best of Columbus Crew. It was Columbus that spoiled the League's Cup title defense for Inter Miami. In the round of 16, Columbus Crew taking down Inter Miami. Inter Miami coughing up a second half lead, and certainly that still resonates in a negative manner for this Inter Miami side. That League's Cup defeat in the round of 16, that was an absolute shocker, and it was Diego Rossi who had the 2 goals, the game time tally and the game winner in the 69th and 80th minute respectively to help Columbus Crew to that League's Cup dismissal of Inter Miami. So as you can see, we're just talking about 1 season of action between these 2 sides. Inter Miami has gotten the best of Columbus a significant amount over the course of its history. 5 victories, 2 defeats, and a draw against Columbus all time for Inter Miami. Now, when you look at Inter Miami and what they've been able to do or lack thereof over the last couple of matches, a surprising draw. Last time we saw Inter Miami at home against Toronto FC, they came in 14th in the table in the East, a 1-1 draw in that one. Then Inter Miami went up to the Windy City last Sunday, a stingy Chicago Fire team, much better organized under first-year boss, former U.S. men's national team head Greg Berhalter, and Inter Miami had a tough time in the attack. And that was a 0-0 draw. Oscar Ustari had to come up massive again for Inter Miami. He had 7 saves in the draw against Chicago. That after his 7 saves, including the courageous stops that he made in the final 5 minutes of the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinal against LAFC. He has 14 saves in the last 2 matches combined, does 39-year-old Oscar Ustari. Talk about someone who is turning back time. He has been sensational in goal for Inter Miami. Lionel Messi, and you heard Mike Rizzo talk about it in the pregame show. Yes, he is in the 11. Yes, he is starting. Same story for Luis Suarez. Both of those 2 goal scorers, like I mentioned, last October the 2nd against Columbus, that game in Columbus. Now, this matchup is in Cleveland, Ohio. This is at Huntington Bank Field. This is the home of the Cleveland Browns, and for back-to-back weeks, it is Inter Miami playing in an NFL venue. It was 62,000 that saw Inter Miami in Chicago last weekend at Soldier Field on the lakefront, Lake Michigan, in the great state of Illinois. And that is actually the home, though, of the Chicago Fire. This is different. Columbus has moved this game 2 hours away to Cleveland, Ohio, Huntington Bank Field, and it's going to be a record crowd, a record quote-unquote home crowd for Columbus Crew. We'll talk more about that as the broadcast goes on. But these are the last 2 unbeatens in MLS play, Inter Miami and Columbus Crew. Both teams are surrounding the center circle, and we're about to get underway. It is Inter Miami in their black road uniforms, pink lettering, numbering, and trim. Columbus in their familiar yellow tops, black shorts. And we are underway. Inter Miami, Columbus Crew on this Saturday afternoon on ESPN West Palm. This is Inter Miami Soccer. And Mike Rizzo back in the network studios in West Palm Beach. The OG Oscar Gonzalez. He is the one who is our on-site engineer here in Cleveland. Immediately off of the opening kick, Columbus concedes a deep throw-in in the Inter Miami attacking half, but Columbus able to sweep it out of play and back into the Inter Miami defensive half. Inter Miami comes into this one 4 victories, no defeats, 3 draws, 15 points in the table, 4th in the Eastern Conference. Columbus, meanwhile, they have 5 wins. They have yet to taste defeat as well. 3 draws on the season, 18 points. They are first in the Eastern Conference. And it is Columbus in their defensive half. There are a lot of similarities between these 2 sides. Both have 12 goals in MLS play. That's tied for 9th in the league. 6 goals against. That is the fewest number. Both of these sides, 6 goals conceded. That's the fewest number conceded of any other side in MLS. They're tied for first. Both teams have a +6 goal differential. That is second in MLS. 10 assists for both of these teams. They're tied for 7th in the league. Both are bottom 7 in fouls committed, if you can believe that, with the amount of yellows that Inter Miami has accrued here in this 2025 season. Both sides only one multi-goal win in MLS play. Columbus beat Chicago 4-2 to start the year. Inter Miami had that 4-1 road victory over Houston. A +4 goal differential in the first half for both sides. Neither team has trailed at halftime. So as you can see, these 2 sides are very, very, very tightly contested. First time in the attacking third for Columbus, and Inter Miami is able, with Gonzalo Lujan, to win a ball left of the box. Inter Miami's attacking left to right. Columbus in the opposite direction. Rain falling. The kickoff temperature 60 degrees in Cleveland. And we are expected to see rainfall that has been precipitating most of the day here in Northeast Ohio taper off as the evening hours come on. Here's a giveaway in the midfield. And Inter Miami wins it right back in the center circle. It's going to be swept onto Ustari in his box left side of the pitch, and he is going to launch it forward, a long ball up ahead. Inter Miami cannot keep it in play, however, and it trickles across the far touchline, and this is going to be a throw-in for Columbus. Columbus has it in its defensive half. Columbus back line featuring Mohamed Farsi, Melda Amundsen, Steven Moreira, and Max Arfstin. That's right to left on a very accomplished Columbus back line. Well done by Inter Miami, by Marcelo Wagon from his right back position to dispossess Dylan Chambeau, the very talented French distributor. But Inter Miami gives it away immediately in the midfield. And a long ball forward up over the top from the center circle, and it sails into the arms of Oscar Ustari. Inter Miami, their manager, Javier Mascherano, his first year at the helm. Meanwhile, year number 4 for Wilfred Nancy on the Columbus touchline. And he is widely regarded as one of the top-tier managers in all of MLS, and he has the hardware to show for it. 2023 MLS Cup winner, Leagues Cup champions a year ago, Columbus Crew. And they have aspirations just like Inter Miami does, including the FIFA Club World Cup in June here in the United States. Columbus has mostly been on the ball here in the opening 5 minutes. And on the near side along the touchline in the attacking midfield, it's Arfstin who pushes it back into the Columbus defensive half, right side of the pitch. Melde Amundsen. He was part of the 2021 MLS Cup champion NYC FC side. He is at left center back, I should say, for Columbus Crew on this Saturday. Fans still filling in here to Huntington Bank Field. And here is a foul against Columbus as Wagan went tumbling to the turf. He was wrestled down by Arfstin and our referee, Tori Penso, with the first foul called of this match. So off of the free kick, Inter Miami is going to try and spray it long ball up the far left touchline, and it rolls out of play, and this is going to be a throw-in for Columbus. Now, some Columbus fans, a sizable portion, were unhappy with the decision that was made to move this match to Cleveland. This is, if you're following all traffic laws, about a 2-hour, 10-minute drive from Columbus to Cleveland, Ohio. But the reason this match was moved is, yes, you guessed it, because it's Inter Miami and it's Lionel Messi, but also the Haslam Group, ownership for Columbus Crew, same owners of the Cleveland Browns. And within that agreement is every season, one match can be moved to Cleveland from Columbus, and you guessed it, this was the one that they chose. Now, Columbus fans feel it offensive that such a high-profile Columbus side that has been so successful in its history has to move a match to accommodate fans who want to see the opposing team. But that's the way it is. That's capitalism, folks, and the financial bottom line is going to resonate strongly here today for Columbus, and in particular, Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, and Columbus Crew. We're in the 7th minute, no score between Inter Miami and Columbus. It's been a bit sloppy here at the onset. Slick surface here in Cleveland with this rainfall that at times has been torrential here today. Fairly comfortable temperature-wise, however. And it'll be even better once things start to dry out, which is anticipated. Columbus being patient in the midfield, in the center circle, but in the defensive half. Sawatsky pushes it with his left foot, and now Columbus tries to probe. Far side right touchline on the outside right channel. Here's Chambeau. Chambeau turns his back on Yannick Bright, and Inter Miami has pushed Columbus back towards the center stripe. And a ball over the top, well covered by Inter Miami. Trying to make a run was Jason Russell Rowe, and he was marked by 2 different Inter Miami defenders That was Noah Allen and Gonzalo Lujan who were right on top of that, and the ball takes a one-hop harmlessly into Oscar Ustari's arms, left side of the pitch in his own box. Now Inter Miami trying to play from the back. Here's Messi right up the middle into the right attacking half. Messi has support to both sides. Sprays it off to the left. Here is Allende. He tried to cross the box far side to near side. He was behind Wagon, but Inter Miami back on it. Wagon is going to scoop a ball left to the area, and Inter Miami is on it. Here's Jordi Alba. Alba wanted Messi at the top of the box, cleared away by Darlington Nagbe of Columbus. But for the first time, we see Inter Miami grow into the attack. But it was Allende who really sort of blew everything up with a poor short-range cross after Messi did a lot of the legwork. 9th minute, Inter Miami and Columbus 0-0. There's been a lot of discussion this week about the lack of Inter Miami goal scoring outside of the greatest of all time. He wears 10 on his back. And here's some context to that. We are nearly 10 minutes into the opening half. It has been 289 consecutive minutes without a goal in MLS play for Inter Miami from anybody not named Lionel Messi. That dates all the way back to the 23rd minute goal from Robert Taylor against Philadelphia Union, now almost a month ago at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. So it's not perception that Inter Miami's having trouble getting goals from anybody other than Messi in MLS play. It's the reality, and that needs to change at some point. And a foul against Columbus as the ball was bandied about just inside the attacking half. Inter Miami quick restart, and the referee, Torrey Penso, stops play, much to the frustration of Tadeo Allende, who was already into the right attacking third, and his manager, Javier Mascherano. Busquets from the defensive half. Long ball forward off the free kick. Chested down by Allende, trying to still get on the end of it, but it was popped up in the air by Mohamed Farsi, the right back for Columbus, and Columbus crew able to escape trouble. Well, with these wet conditions, we're seeing both sides trying to beat one another up over the top. Columbus, traditionally under Wilfred Nancy, plays an extremely high line. They are vulnerable in the back. Miami with a brief spell of possession off a turnover, but Allende and Suarez can't hook up in Columbus into the left attacking half, up the inside right channel, far side of the pitch. We are nearing minute number 11. Columbus on the border of the left attacking third. Here is Darlington Nagbe. 407 MLS appearances all time. That's second in the history of the league. He has been a stalwart, whether it's for Columbus, whether it's for Portland. He's won an MLS Cup with both sides, 3 in total. Here's Columbus, far right touchline, skipping through some traffic. Diego Rossi. Boy, has he been a problem for Inter Miami. He had the 2 goals to eliminate Inter Miami League's Cup last season, round of 16. Had a goal against Inter Miami 46th minute on October the 2nd as a cross is set to the left side of the 6-yard box from the far right touchline, and that was headed nicely by Lujan right into Ostari, and Inter Miami extinguishes that Columbus opportunity. But back to Diego Rossi. He had 12 goals, 11 assists last year, and he did some beautiful work against Inter Miami. Don't think that the backline defenders, especially guys like Noah Allen, Marcelo Wagon, Jordi Alba, players who saw Rossi ding Inter Miami extensively a season ago, don't recall just how dangerous and high octane he can be. 12, 16, 12, 17, 12, 18 on this first half clock in Cleveland. Inter Miami and Columbus are 0-0. And a giveaway in the Inter Miami defensive midfield. Here's Messi. He had it tackled away by Gazdag of Columbus, but a late whistle and a foul called by Torrey Penso, and here come the obligatory boos from Columbus fans. Messi off the restart, floats the ball left side of the box, and it was touched by Alba, to the edge of the 6-yard area. Wanted Suarez. Late marking there from Columbus. And it is deflected across the end line. This is going to be an Inter Miami corner. What a great ball from Messi. Good idea from Alba. Good backtracking defensively for Columbus, but it's going to be a near side to far side in swinging Messi corner for Inter Miami, brought to you by Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. And it's a short corner onto Kromoski near right touchline in the right attacking third. Weygott now on the right flank. He turns, and he's going to push it out to the right of the center area. Allen wanted to swipe a ball left of the box. Suarez flat-footed, decided not to pursue, and it rolls out of play listlessly. And it's going to be Columbus with the goal kick, courtesy of Patrick Schulte, their fourth-year goalkeeper. All Inter Miami corners brought to you by Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Columbus last season finished second in the East. They were a surprise ouster round one to New York Red Bulls, who went on to play for the MLS Cup, falling to LA Galaxy. Finished second in the Supporters' Shield to Inter Miami. Last time out, Columbus, a 2-1 victory at St. Louis City. That was Sunday Night Soccer. Herrera with a goal for Columbus, 45+2, and Diego Rossi in the 55th minute. That after Columbus conceded in the 7th minute, but then they controlled the match after. Into the attacking midfield, just barely across the center line is Dylan Chambeau. He has 3 assists this season for Columbus. Now Nagbe. Nagbe sprays it out wide side, right touchline as we welcome you to minute number 15 with Inter Miami and Columbus scoreless here on ESPN West Palm. I am Ken LaVicka. Inter Miami, good shape defensively. A ball from the center circle for Columbus, heavy touch, and Kromoski with a steal. That ball blasted off of Arfsten's foot from the touchline. Well done by Inter Miami to avoid some aggressive defensive play from the attacking portion of this Columbus 11, trying to force Inter Miami into a turnover. They handled themselves nicely, and Inter Miami pushes it back to their veteran goalkeeper, Ustari. But look out here, Lujan is turned on the ball and has to give it back to Ustari, who gave it away promptly 40 yards out. Ustari was off his line, has to retreat back in front of his goal. He was all the way left border of the box. Now Gazdag, left wing, just outside the area, sends it to the left side of the box. Arfsten got around Weygott, floats across to the far post right side, took a deflection off a head, winding up, and a left-footed shot was blocked, but the job not done, and finally Columbus possession over as Weygott is able to shield Arfsten off the ball and rolls across the end line for an Ustari goal kick, but that got a little bit dicey. Arfsten had Weygott sprawling. Alba was able to head that cross up into the air. Chambeau tried to windmill a left-footed attempt from about the penalty spot, and here is a near giveaway for Inter Miami, but a foul is called before anything could develop in transition. Sean Zawadzki in the Columbus midfield is called for the foul, and it was Suarez who fell in a heap to the turf. And Suarez took contact with the outside of Zawadzki's knee to his calf area. He's wincing in pain, but he's up. And we are in the 17th minute. Inter Miami and Columbus, 0-0. These are two very stingy defensive clubs. As we told you, only 6 goals conceded between the two. That's tied for first in MLS. A hard foul. Yannick Bright on the far side sends a Columbus attacker somersaulting. He's trying to plead his case to the referee, Tori Penso, and she doesn't want to hear any of it. Now, we have seen some physical tackles here early between two sides. A lot of respect, but not a whole lot of love lost. That's what happens when every time you meet, there are massive consequences attached to it. Wilfred Nancy, Columbus crew manager, tried to play off any suggestion that this was a massive match at this juncture of the season, but in the grand scheme of things, it absolutely is. Inter Miami trying to play it out of the back, a couple of toe pokes, and then Kromoski has it tackled away near right touchline in the left attacking half, or defensive half, I should say, but Inter Miami is going to throw it in. Kromoski certainly had his struggles against Chicago last weekend. Could not find himself much in the attack. The throw in into the attacking midfield along the touchline. Suarez tried to draw a foul, no whistle, and immediately gives it back to Columbus. He's frustrated, hands in the air. But he fully expected there would be a whistle blown, and the referee said play on. And that's what Suarez is going to have to do. Suarez has really struggled as of late. He has not scored a run-of-play goal in the last 8 matches, and it doesn't have a goal in the last 6 overall, all competitions. Here's Noah Allen, well done in the far left corner in his defensive third, clearing the ball away, but then Suarez with a bad giveaway, and here comes Nagbe. Plays it up near the edge of the box to the right of the penalty arc. Fighting for it is Rossi. Good job, Yannick Bright, though, to win it back. But Inter Miami can't clear into the attacking half. Columbus still on the ball. It's a 50-50 ball coming up left flank, and Columbus wins it as Kromoski was late, and he was beaten to it by Arvston. Now Nagbe again in the midfield. Here he comes 40 yards out. He's tackled by Kromoski. The referee says play on, and the crowd boos. Yannick Bright able to come up with the steal at the edge of the box on the far side, and then a very, very late dangerous foul. A sliding Steven Moreira for Columbus made significant contact. I believe that's Lujan. No, that's Allende, who had his heel stepped on right of the box by Moreira in Inter Miami's defensive third, and I do not know what the protest could possibly be for Steven Moreira on that. He got up as if he was wronged, as if he was the victim of some phantom call when he clearly spiked the back heel of Inter Miami's Tadeo Allende. 21st minute in an increasingly chippy affair between Inter Miami and Columbus Crew. Columbus, MLS Cup champions, 08, 2020, 2023. 3-time Supporter Shield winners as well, 04, 08, 09. Inter Miami sloppy in the midfield, and now a foul against Jordi Alba as he was trying to backtrack and stop any sort of attack coming up the right side for Columbus. And off the restart, here's Nagbe in the center circle attacking half for Columbus. That's the left side of the pitch. Nagbe exits that circle, gives it up short range. Gazdag about 40 yards away from Oscar Ustari's Inter Miami goal. Gazdag had a goal when he was with Philadelphia earlier this season in the 80th minute in Fort Lauderdale against Inter Miami, a 2-1 Inter Miami victory. That, in fact, is the last Inter Miami MLS win. A lot of rough play on the far side. The referee says play on, and here comes Lionel Messi in the attacking half in the center circle. He chugs forward, sends it to the middle, Kromoski. Kromoski holds up play. He'll spray to the outside. Along the near side, right channel Wagot, and Inter Miami has to retreat back into the defensive half eventually. Noah Allen leaks it back across the midfield stripe. Alba, Bright, Allen, now Lujan. As Inter Miami gets deeper and deeper into its defensive half, Busquets near side to far side gives Allen some real estate to work with to come up the left side in the right attacking half for black-clad Inter Miami. 22nd minute, Inter Miami and Columbus Crew are 0-0. Inter Miami plays it back into the defensive half. Far right touchline, Allen. Now Jordi Alba. Good ball forward, Allende. Allende on a run. He's into the left side of the box. He got it onto his right foot, sprayed it across to Lionel Messi. Right-footed shot blocked just outside the 6-yard area. A heroic defensive play by Columbus. That developed out of nothing. Lionel Messi off a deflected pass, 30 yards out. Got to the top of the penalty arc. To the left of the box, Alba. Poor cross. couldn't find Messi. It was easily played by Morera, and Columbus comes back with it. They wanted to try and get out on the counter. Inter Miami retreated well to fight that off. Some opportunities for Inter Miami, but despite all of that, still not a shot on goal. Patrick Schulte. That's frustrating. Long ball up ahead, right side to left side. And that was played well by Noah Allen. But Yannick Bright was trying to send it back towards his goalkeeper. It hit the referee, Tori Penso, who then stopped playing, so that's my fault. There was a lot of buildup just moments ago. Beautifully done by Jordi Alba to pick out Tadeo Allende. Allende had a cross leak through to Messi, but then it was Melda Amundsen who blocked a right-footed toe poke shot from about 8 yards, courtesy of Lionel Messi, to extinguish that opportunity. We are in the 24th minute. No score. Inter Miami and Columbus Crew 0-0 on the scoreline. Long ball left to right. The chase is on Kromoski in the right attacking half. Can he get there? The answer to that is no. And then he provides a needless push in the back of Max Arston at the end of that. I don't know what the purpose of that is for Kromoski. Is he going to be shown a card? Because that would be a really frustrating punctuation on a needless play. And I would have to say it might be deserved. And fortunately for Kromoski, Tori Penso keeps the cards in her pocket. So Columbus, nice patient attack up the far right touchline into the left attacking half. Well done by Jordi Alba to get in front of a pass, but it falls right to a Columbus Crew player. Here's a chip from right of the 6-yard box up and over. Gazdag was trying to beat a sprawling Ustari. It went up over the crossbar. That attack was all set up by Steven Morera. He played it perfectly right side of the box to Gazdag, and the high-profile trade acquisition of Columbus. He punched it high and wide of Ustari's goal, 1v1 in his first start in a Columbus shirt. Oh, nervous moments for Inter Miami. Yet we still do not have a shot on goal in this match, and we are approaching the 30-minute mark. We close in on 26 minutes to be more specific. Inter Miami has meandered its way into the right attacking third, but now they push it back beyond the midfield stripe left side of the pitch. This natural surface here at Huntington Bank Field, the home of the NFL's Cleveland Browns. Good one-touch football by Inter Miami. Weigott onto Messi, 40 yards out. He hooks a pass into the left channel. Allende wanted to feed a horizontal run being made by Suarez, but it was punched away by Columbus, and Inter Miami has to retrieve all the way back in its defensive end. Columbus's own possession here in the opening 26 minutes and change. Let's take 10 seconds per stations to identify themselves. This is Inter Miami football on ESPN West Palm.
Anna Joran Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Ken LaVicka back with you, Cleveland, Ohio, Huntington Bank Field. Mike Rizzo back in the network studios in West Palm Beach. On-site engineer, the OG, Oscar Gonzalez. Lionel Messi was fouled in the center circle just moments ago. The crowd is unhappy with the call, but that happens every time Lionel Messi is fouled. The opposing crowd's going to react as if Messi is the one known for embellishing. Inter Miami was taking up real estate in the attacking third, but Columbus able to clear the ball, and now here's Nagbe in the center circle attacking half. Columbus going right to left with the possession. Arston near left touchline. Plays it deeper along that touchline, left of the box, step over with a left foot. Here's Amundsen. Pass broken up by Busquets, and Columbus needs to reset about 30 yards away. Nagbe. Now to Morera. Morera, far right side. Patience here for Columbus as Inter Miami just tries to stay disciplined. 28th minute. Inter Miami 0, Columbus Crew 0. Zawadzki, right to the center circle. Attacking midfield, left side of the pitch. Columbus now on the far right touchline. Want to find some space for Gazdag. Back to Nagbe in the middle. He heads angling left to the left flank. Here's Arston. Arston gave it up to Nagbe short range. Now it's played. Nice play throw into the box, and Ustari, I think, got a touch on a chip attempt on a give and go that was completed with Arston, and it's up over the bar. Ustari's claiming that he didn't get a touch on it. It should be a goal kick, but I believe that a corner has been awarded. That was Russell Rowe who made a perfect feed to Arston. That's going to be a save for Ustari. That's our first shot on goal of the match. Ustari with his 15th save in just over 2 matches, all competitions. And now a corner for Columbus. Near side to far side. This will be an in-swinger. 29th minute. Set piece Columbus. It's a short corner on the Chambeau with a left foot to the outside of the left side of the box. A cross is whipped in. Arston headed away by Inter Miami. And now Inter Miami cannot get out on the counter. Suarez, though, able to spin on the ball and slow down play and keep possession for Inter Miami. Messi all the way in the left defensive third. You see that rarely, but that's how difficult it's been to traverse against this Columbus defense. Suarez and Alba, short range. In the defensive midfield, good ball. Suarez on the run. Weygand. He got it. Right of the box. Sends it. A beautiful cross into the 6-yard box. A diving header goal. Ben Kromowski. How wonderful was that? Weygand, the unlikely assist. Kromowski soaring into the play, and he beats Patrick Schulte. Something out of nothing, and at the half-hour mark, it's 1-0 Inter Miami. That's just wherewithal and want-to, and it's all the man with the ping number 30 on his back and the man with a 57 on his back. Weygand off a beautiful assist delivery from Luis Suarez. He was going to get in on that assist. Weygand delivered the perfect ball, and what a wonderful, is this going to be an own goal? Kromowski, did he get a head on it, or is it an own goal? He did a diving. Yes, it is. Now taking a third look at it, Kromowski got the crown of his head, which was about a foot off the ground, fully sprawled at the edge of the 6-yard box into the left side of goal. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. And it appears as if Kromowski had absolutely no clue that he had scored. He was laying on the ground, and then all of a sudden he was mobbed by his teammates, and that's when he looked up and he saw the ball left side of the net. So Inter Miami, they have seen Columbus own possession, but it's Inter Miami with its first shot on goal, and it's in the goal, courtesy of Ben Kromowski, his first goal of the season. Kromowski called for a foul as Columbus was on the border of its attacking third, left side of the pitch. Javier Mascherano, his manager, right there on the touchline saying, don't worry about it, get up. And now Columbus with Nagbe on the left flank. Now Moreira tried to feed it from the midfield, wanted to pick out his teammate Diego Rossi. Instead, Inter Miami wins possession back. 32nd minute. Benjamin Kromowski, the difference. 1-0 Inter Miami over Columbus. And that ends a 309-minute streak. And here's a long ball forward. Allende on the end of it. He's behind the defense. And then desperate from behind was Moreira, who came up from behind Allende to knock the ball across the left end line. It'll be an Inter Miami corner kick. Miscommunication for the Columbus defense allowed Allende to leak out. Inter Miami corners brought to you by Lotto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Cronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. But as I was saying, 309 consecutive minutes for Inter Miami in MLS play without a goal from someone not named Lionel Messi finally comes to an end with Benjamin Kremoski. Far side to near side corner into Miami. It's played short by Messi. Now here's Alba, left channel. Alba, low left foot, finds Messi, left side of the box. Messi floats the ball to the edge of the 6-yard area. It's still up for grabs, top of the box. It was Lujan who got a head on it, but now Columbus comes out of there with it. Alba with a tackle to get possession back for Inter Miami, and it's attacking half, and Inter Miami is going to slow it down on the defensive side with Lujan. This is better. This is more physical from Inter Miami. They have now fully entered the match after their Kremoski goal to make it 1-0. Inter Miami, 34th minute here in Cleveland. Columbus this season, though, is 3 victories, no defeats, no draws when conceding first. So keep that in mind. They do not panic. Here's Weigott trying to battle along the touchline, and him and Arvston got tangled up, clutching, grabbing. Arvston threw himself to the ground, and the referee calls a foul on Weigott, who looked like he had successfully taken on a whole lot of contact to keep his footing and continue pushing forward. Weigott's not going to protest. He'll backtrack. He's still soaring high off of that assist. I don't think he struck a better cross in his life than he did on that Kremoski goal. After a full-fledged, full-sprint run of about 40 yards to get on the end of that picture-perfect Suarez delivery from the defensive half. And then Kremoski with the header goal. Left attacking half Columbus. Weigott able to break up play. Messi, a nifty little chip across the midfield stripe into the attacking half for Inter Miami. And Allende's plowed into from behind after that cheeky delivery from Lionel Messi. So we are into the 35th minute. 1-0 Inter Miami. Darlington Nagbe, U.S. men's national team stalwart in the midfield against Sergio Busquets, the legend. How about that for a midfield matchup? A lot of international caps in those two legs and a lot of trophies between those two. Inter Miami. Short-range passes out of the back. Well done as Messi sprays it near side to far side. And left to right in the attack comes Inter Miami and Jordi Alba. He'll punch it into the middle as Bright will swipe it back in front of Inter Miami's box for Lujan. And Weigott, who was initially on the ball, finds Lujan again. And then Inter Miami says, here you go, Oscar Ustari. Off your feet, help us out. And he does. He'll send it into his own penalty arc for Busquets. Busquets, though, tried to make a pass. A dangerous pass in the middle, stolen by Columbus, and well done by Inter Miami to close down the ranks at the top of the box as Bright was able to fight off Diego Rossi, and then Rossi's called for a foul, getting too physical with Bright, who had gotten in front of him, shielding him from the ball, and got pushed from behind. Noah Allen also helping the cause. Noah Allen this season, he is just an absolute bulldog. We've talked a lot about Yannick Bright. Maybe we're taking Noah Allen for granted. And then a quick foul against Inter Miami after Los Herenitos thought they had won a 50-50 ball. The referee blows her whistle, and it's going to be a free kick Columbus. About 5 yards in front of the center circle in the attacking half. Actually, to the left of the center circle, just inside the midfield stripe, attacking half. 37th minute, 1-0 Inter Miami. Benjamin Kremoski, the difference for the men in black and pink on a rainy Saturday, turning into the evening here in Northeast Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. Huntington Bank Field. There is soccer experience at this venue. They have hosted both U.S. men's and women's national teams, including the Gold Cup as well. Nagbe in the middle channel, charges forward for Columbus, but doesn't have anywhere to distribute the ball, and he gives it away. It's stolen by Weygant. Weygant battling, though, with Arvston. Boy, look at this duel. And then Arvston took a swipe of the ball with his foot as Weygant's head was on the ground. And now finally, Bright wins the ball away for Inter Miami. Here's Kromoski. Inter Miami trying to surge forward up the far left touchline. Alba assesses, gives it off short range to Messi. Now Alba in the right attacking half along the touchline far side to Kromoski. It's pushed right back onto Alba. Now Inter Miami back comfortably into its defensive half. They're just trying to pick spots, find runners. Weygant up the near right touchline, looking for Allende, who's onside. Allende got on the end of it. He is able to push the ball off the defender, right side of the box. It rolls across the near right touchline, and it's a right attacking third throw in near side for Inter Miami. Boy, Weygant and Arvston really battling on that sequence before. And this has been a pretty relentless defensive effort for Inter Miami the last 12 minutes or so. 38th minute, 1-0 Inter Miami. Here's Suarez off the turn for the throw-in. Allende right side of the box, got a right foot into it, deflected off a defender. It's won back by Busquets, but he could not pick out Allende, who was about 5 feet in front of him in the box, and it rolls onto a Columbus defender. And Yannick Bright comes up as Columbus was trying to send a missile right foot forward in the attack. Yannick Bright just sends it right back beyond the end line for a Columbus goal kick. We approach minute number 40, later stages of this opening half. 1-0 Inter Miami. And here's a bad giveaway for Columbus. Busquets with the steal. Into the middle, Messi wants to play it forward for Kromoski. Can he get there? The answer is no. As Sawatsky was able to win it, but then Kromoski stole it from him right in the box. Inter Miami trying to reset. Messi mishit a ball that he was trying to get to Alba left side of the box. And now look out as Columbus is trying to find some path forward here on the counter. Inter Miami was able to get back, and Columbus doesn't have a long ball at its disposal. And Gazdag, who was trying to push it, will have to give it back up to Nagbe. Columbus in the right attacking half. Near left touchline now, Gazdag. The high-profile acquisition from Philadelphia Union just a few weeks ago. This is his second appearance in a Columbus shirt. His first start came in off the bench at halftime in the Columbus victory over St. Louis City 6 nights ago. Rossi for Columbus. Columbus in the left attacking third, asking some questions. Nagbe to Rossi, has some room left of the penalty arc. The ball was deflected at the top of the area, and then finally it ping-pong balled around, and Yannick Bright able to punch it up in the air with a left foot, and Ustari claims it for Inter Miami. And now here's Yannick Bright. He just dribbled through 3 defenders. Here it comes up the near right touchline. Wants to take on Nagbe. Can he get around him? The answer is no. Nagbe on the outside right channel, able to desperately get a right foot to knock it away from Bright. Nagbe was the one lone person keeping Yannick Bright from running in on the goalkeeper, Patrick Schulte. That was an inspired, Messi-esque Yannick Bright run for Inter Miami. Minute number 41. Inter Miami 1, Columbus 0 here in Cleveland. This will be the largest Columbus home crowd in the history of the franchise. It was previously set 1996. New York, New Jersey Metro Stars into Ohio Stadium in Columbus, 31,000 and change. This is far going to exceed that here in Cleveland. From the midfield stripe, one ball ahead. Here's Messi in traffic. He volleyed it with his left foot. It falls onto Suarez. Plays it back to Messi. Messi wants to get it onto his left foot. He finally does. Deflected shot. And it's wide of the near post across the end line. It's going to be an Inter Miami corner brought to you by Lytle Ryder Smith Ivy and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Boy, Messi was right in the middle of Amundsen and Sawatsky. Suarez thought about giving it a rip top of the area with a right foot, fed it back to Messi. And I think Messi was telling him, hey, you got to get your goal-scoring shoes back on. Get that confidence up. Let it go. So Inter Miami, near side to far side, in swinging corner for the lefty, Lionel Messi in the 42nd minute. Messi has attempted 2 Olympicos this season. 2 saves. Messi delivers it to the top of the box, and a swinging left-foot attempt from Alba. He shanked it, and it trickles across the far touchline on a play for a Columbus throw-in. We have seen that specific corner where Messi's trying to pick out Alba outside the top of the box. Each of the last 3 matches, Alba has connected cleanly once. That was against Toronto. Everything else has been shanked or it's been read by the defense. That one was completely undefended. Alba just mishit it. You can tell they've been working on it in training, though. They desperately want to hit one of those tremendous booming volleys to Alba off of a Messi corner. Ustari plays it out of his box. And here's Inter Miami in its defensive half, far left touchline. Suarez, one touch on to Allende. And now Jordi Alba. Allende was starting to make a run. Alba's pass to him from the defensive half was knocked out of play by Columbus, and it's going to be an Inter Miami throw-in. 43-48, 43-49, 43-50 reads the clock here in Cleveland. 1-0 Inter Miami. Here's another long ball. Messi, he's on the end of it, trying to get it against Schulte. Schulte's off his line, and Kromoski headed it towards nobody, right side of the box. If he lets Messi take it, Messi can put a foot into it. Kromoski panicked, and here comes Columbus back the other way. Schulte sold out. He did not time it well, and Inter Miami had an open goal that if Kromoski is communicating with Messi, could have made it 2-0 Inter Miami. But then Columbus on the other end just lets it trickle out of play as it approached Inter Miami's defensive third, and it's a throw-in, but a giveaway. On it is Zawadzki. Good ball forward. Look out! And top of the box, panic shot of Russell Rowe. He maybe had another touch that he could have delivered before he let his shot go, and instead he sent it 30 feet in the air and into the stands. Noah Allen at the last moment from behind, after that ball was played through in the penalty arc, came up with a stab of his left foot that I think distracted Jason Russell Rowe, and that threw his balance off, and that created the miss hit. Only 1 minute of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealers. Test drive the new Q6 e-tron today at your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiOffers.com to learn more. 1-0 Inter Miami. We are already 25 seconds into 1 minute. Here in the right attacking third, Lionel Messi charging forward to his left foot. A twirler just wide of the far post. Nearly world-class striking from Messi from 30 yards. Oh, he did not miss by much. He had Nagby on skates, and he missed it by about 6 inches on the far post. But that draws oohs and ahs from this Cleveland crowd. Perhaps one final run forward here in this opening half, and it belongs to Columbus in the left attacking half, far right touchline. Russell Rowe, one touches it to the right side. Morera. Now Farsi along the end line, and he earns Columbus a corner across the right end line off of Allen. And this will be final kick of the opening half. This will be a far side to near side corner for Columbus. Left attacking third, Shambo to take it. He has 3 assists on the season. Inter Miami sets up the marking. The crowd roars, trying to get their side back into the match. 1-0 Inter Miami. Last kick, first half. This is a good corner, but it sails over everybody. And it'll roll out of play. Left end line, untouched, and that will do it for the opening half here in Cleveland. Benjamin Kromoski with a diving, fully vertical header on a beautiful feed from Marcelo Weigott, all set up on a picture-perfect pass from the back of Luis Suarez. Did I describe it well enough? Inter Miami 1, Columbus 0 after Kromoski's 30th minute tally. Mike Rizzo has your halftime show next. It's Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN West Palm.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
To learn more.
Our lawyers have
Inter Miami.
litigated
We are already
thousands of
25
matters at the
seconds
Palm
into 1
Beach,
minute.
Messi charging
St.
forward
Lucie,
to his left foot,
and
a
Indian River
twirler!
County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Hi, this is Evan Cohen here with a special message for the ESPN 1063 streaming audience. If you're not listening to our stream right now, just cover your ears for a second. This won't take long. Thanks to a recent software upgrade, ESPN 1063 now streams in stereo. Isn't that amazing? ESPN 1063 in stereo, left channel, delay, echo. Wow. All made possible by modern technology at ESPN 1063. Thank you, scientists. ESPN 1063, streaming now in stereo.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV, it's a new way to experience driving. The all-new fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
PNC Bank couldn't be more excited to serve the South Florida community. But you may be wondering, isn't PNC that boring bank? Well, is starting a business or being the first person in your family to go to college boring? For 160 years, they've done the occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results for their clients. That's why they have dedicated teams throughout the local area ready to help you unlock your own brilliance. See what boring banking can do for you. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 1063. Here's Mike Rizzo.
What a chance and a shot by Benjamin Kremoski. 1-0. Inter Miami on top of the Columbus Crew at Cleveland Brown Stadium. We'll come on into the halftime report, folks, here on the Inter Miami Radio Network. We are powered by Audi. And, folks, the road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new fully electric 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi technology. It's not just a new electric vehicle, folks. It's a new way to experience driving. The Q6 is a premium midsize all-electric SUV that boosts an EPA-estimated range of up to 321 miles, allowing you to get to where you want to go in state-of-the-art fashion. The next chapter of Audi is now. Test drive the Q6 e-tron today at your local South Florida Audi dealer or visit AudiOffers.com to learn more. That is AudiOffers.com to learn more. Pull into that lot at Chase Stadium in style with the brand new Q6 e-tron. Mentioned 1-0 halftime. Inter Miami on top. Bit of a slow start. We'll get to the highlights in just a second, but bit of a slow start for both sides to begin this. I feel like each were trying to find their footing in this match. We did not have a shot on target until a couple of minutes into the game. But as we get to halftime, let's give you a little match facts. Columbus is leading the possession 53-47. Expected goals, believe it or not, the Crew are at 1.04, our Herons at 0.47. 6 total shots for the Herons, 4 total shots for the Crew. Each have 1 shot on target, and Inter Miami obviously taking advantage with the 1-0 goal from the header from Benjamin Kromoski. 2 big chances for the Crew, 1 big chance for the Herons. I could argue, though, the almost goal for Lionel Messi before the half is a big chance, but obviously wasn't because it missed. All right, let's get into the highlights because the Crew had the first chance of the game here. Let's take a listen. This is the Columbus Crew early on in the first half.
Starry was off his line, has to retreat back in front of his goal. He was all the way left border of the box. Now Gazdag, left wing, just outside the area, sends it to the left side of the box. Arfsted got around Weygand, floats across to the far post right side, took a deflection off a head, winding up, and a left-footed shot was blocked, but the job not done, and finally Columbus possession over as Weygand is able to shield Arfsted off the ball and rolls across the end line for an Ustari goal kick.
Tadio Allende next with a chance, this time for the Inter Miami Herons. Let's listen to the Herons' first chance of the first half.
Now Jordi Alba. Good ball forward, Allende. Allende on a run. He's into the left side of the box. He got it onto his right foot, sprayed it across to Lionel Messi. Right-footed shot blocked just outside the 6-yard area. A heroic defensive play by Columbus. That developed out of nothing. Lionel Messi off a deflected pass, 30 yards out. Got to the top of the penalty arc. To the left of the box, Alba. Poor cross. Couldn't find Messi. It was easily played by Morera. And Columbus comes back with it. They want it.
So that was the first chance of the first half for the Herons. A couple, you heard Allende there, Jordi Alba crossed the ball, but nothing came of it. Let's hear Columbus' second big chance of the first half.
Well done by Jordi Alba to get in front of a pass, but it falls right to a Columbus Crew player. Here's a chip from right of the 6-yard box up and over. Gazdag was trying to beat a sprawling Ustari. It went up over the crossbar. That attack was all set up by Steven Morera. He played it perfectly right side of the box to Gazdag, and the high-profile trade acquisition of Columbus. He punched it high and wide of Ustari's goal, 1v1 in his first start in a Columbus shirt.
If we remember, Gazdag played for the Philadelphia Union, scored against the Inter Miami Herons a few weeks back at Chase Stadium, but he is unable to get a goal there, and kind of little cheeky chip shot by Gazdag that did not come from anything. Let's hear from Benjamin Kromoski now. 1-0, opening up the scoring. Take it away.
Good ball, Suarez on the runaway guy. He got it right of the box, sends it, a beautiful cross into the 6-yard box, a diving header goal. Ben Kromoski, how wonderful was that? Weygand, the unlikely assist. Kromoski soaring into the play, and he beats Patrick Schulte. Something out of nothing, and at the half-hour mark, it's 1-0 Inter Miami.
So at the 30-minute mark, Inter Miami finally gets in the back of the net, and not a lot of chances before that. We played, you had a chance with Tadio Allende, but the Crew, really the ones who had the chances in that first half, but were unable to take advantage of it. Let's take a listen, though, to Lionel Messi's finesse right before the half. And, folks, when I say finesse, right to left, right? This time left to right because Messi hit this with his left foot. But a curler, as our good buddy Ken Levicka calls it here. Here's the almost finesse goal by Lionel Messi, one of the last plays of the first half.
Here in the right, attacking third, Lionel Messi charging forward to his left foot. A curler just wide of the far post. Nearly world-class striking from Messi from 30 yards. Oh, he did not miss by much. He had Nagby on skates, and he missed it by about 6 inches on the far post. But that draws oohs and ahs from this Cleveland crowd.
So that was the last big chance of the first half on both sides. He had a corner kick right before the half, but nothing came from that. 1-2-0. The Inter Miami Herons on top of the Columbus Crew at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Or excuse me, Huntington Bank Stadium. I apologize. I haven't been home in a while, as I could tell. My good buddy Ken Levica has been saying it, but Huntington Bank Stadium there in Cleveland, Ohio. Last thing for me here on the pregame show, folks. These are your substitutes. You got Ian Frey, Toto Aviles, Maxi Falcone, Martinez, Talasco Segovia, Fafa Pico, Robert Taylor, and Abando. A couple of players that I could see coming on. Number one, Fafa Pico. I think you could see him come on for Tadeo Allende. Allende dealing with an injury from a couple of weeks back. I don't think he was necessarily at his best in that first half. We just listened to him have a chance in that first half. I can see Fafa Pico coming on in at some point. Another one, Ian Frey. I think you could see Ian Frey come in at a fullback position, if it be for Jordi Alba, if it be for Marcelo Wiggin. Now, Wiggin does have the assists on the game to the goal. I don't know if he's going to be coming out of the game, but I think those two, Frey and Pico, I think you could see them come on in the second half. And then finally, my third, Toto Aviles. I think Aviles could come on for Luan or Noah Allen in that center back role. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up on the halftime show. Once again, we are powered and driven by our good friends at Audi. Visit your local South Florida Audi dealer today. We're going right back to Ken Levica for the second half on the Inter Miami Radio Network.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The playoffs are heating up, but your home shouldn't. Stay cool with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
It's Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Ken Levica.
Clock set for the second half here in Cleveland, Ohio. Huntington Bank Field. Inter Miami has the 1-0 advantage over Columbus Crew. And this already, just from a nip and tuck and physical and feels massive. This certainly has shades of last October 2nd when Inter Miami went to Columbus and clinched the Supporter Shield in one of the wildest matches that you will ever see or hear. This one has not had as many offensive opportunities, not as many chances in the attack, but it certainly has had a lot of the rough play and the jawing, the chirping, and the frustration into glorious goal out of nothing that we have seen so many times in this Inter Miami Columbus Crew series. Ben Kromoski is the difference in the 30th minute. His diving header on an absolute masterpiece of a cross from Marcelo Wagon, and it is 1-0 Inter Miami after 30 minutes. You heard Mike Rizzo talk about it during the halftime show. Columbus on top in possession, 53-47. Shots on goal, both sides with one. It was Ustari with a diving fingertip save after Gazdag got behind the defense. Actually, Jason Russell-Rowe got behind the defense for Columbus, and then the one shot on goal for Inter Miami found the left side of Patrick Schulte's net, thanks to Ben Kremoski. It'll be Columbus Crew with possession to start the second half. There's the whistle. We are back underway at Huntington Bank Field in soggy Cleveland, Ohio, on a Saturday, now evening time. Along Lake Erie, I am Ken LaVicka. Oscar Gonzalez, the OG, our on-site engineer, Michael Rizzo, in the network studios in West Palm Beach. 1-0, Inter Miami leads Columbus. Inter Miami came into this match fourth in the Eastern Conference, 3 points in back of East leading Columbus Crew with one game in hand. A attacking third throw-in for Columbus, who now on the attack go left to right on this natural surface that drains well, and it has needed to because of heavy rainfall throughout the course of the day here in Northeast Ohio. Here is Jason Russell-Rowe. He took a pass in the middle of the Inter Miami defense. And he thought he was fouled. The ball trickled on to Rossi. He let it fly from 23 yards out with a right foot and a diving hand save for Ustari, and he didn't give up a rebound. It should never have even come to that, Ustari having to make his save, because either A, it was a foul against Inter Miami, or a handball against Russell-Rowe, who clearly touched the ball while he was on the ground, and the referee let it play on and allowed Rossi to run up and send a missile Ustari's way, but it's the second save of the day for Oscar Ustari, equal to the task once again. Here is Wagon, and boy, he got a full hip check from Arfston as he was trying to enter the left attacking half. And a foul is called. Arfston looks at the referee and says, "My bad." The referee says, "Sounds good." Tori Penso is the referee. She has had her work cut out for her today. A lot of whistles. Here is the free kick from right of the center circle in the left attacking half. It's out of the feet of Alba. Swipes it to Kremoski, left side of the box. Now he exits the area. Kremoski turning, trying to pick out Alba. That pass was deflected by Chambeau of Columbus. Out of play across the touchline near side. It's going to be a throw-in for Jordi Alba. Left to the top of the box, extended near side, left side. It on to Suarez, now back to Alba. Suarez on it now once again. Suarez will swipe the ball with pace in the center circle, long distance from the attacking third. Going backwards is Inter Miami. Now Wagon, long ball, making a run up the right side. Here's Allende, right side of the box. And it'll be toe poked out of play by Columbus across the end line, far side. It's going to be an Inter Miami corner. Well done by Allende, brought to you by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Cronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Lionel Messi heads to the corner flag as he typically does for these set pieces. No halftime substitutions, by the way. We're in the 48th minute. Inter Miami 1, Columbus Crew 0. Messi looks over it. And he whips in this corner. It's high up in the air off of a head. It's going to fall to Suarez left of the 6-yard box, and he simply puts it off the chest of Morera of Columbus for another Inter Miami Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Cronrath corner. foryourrights.com. This will come from the opposite side that the previous corner was delivered from. This will be Jordi Alba, near side to far side, left side of the pitch. He'll also use his left foot. This will be an outswinger. We haven't seen Alba take a corner in a while. Alba swipes it to the top of the box. It is played down by Messi, lays it off for Busquets, and I think he was trying to chip it towards the far post and ended up delivering it about 6 feet wide and out of play for a Columbus goal kick. Well, that's the play we were talking about in the first half that Messi usually delivers to Alba at the top of the box, that Alba tries to volley. Messi instead did a good job of touching it to a stop and trying to create something off the right flank, but it all fell apart eventually. Throw in at Columbus in their attacking half, right side, just inside the midfield stripe. Javier Mascherano and his 4-4-2 for Inter Miami, trying to hold strong against this extremely aggressive Columbus side. 1-0 Inter Miami on top, and an unforced error. And a ball touched on a play off of Arfston of Columbus across the touchline. And it'll be an Inter Miami throw-in. Arfston for Columbus was called to the same U.S. men's national team camp that Ben Kremoski was back in January. And then Arfston joined U.S. men's national team in that disastrous Nations League appearance. Here's Lionel Messi in the left attacking half, trying to get around Columbus's Morera. Could not do it, and Columbus back on the ball. But Inter Miami quickly wins it back in the midfield. Kremoski, can he go 1v1? The answer is no, but Alba, a nifty pass along the touchline. Yannick Bright now into the middle for Suarez. Busquets will send it to the outside, right channel, and it's Weigott. 50th minute, 1-0 Inter Miami on top, thanks to Benjamin Kremoski's unbelievably acrobatic full vertical header goal at the half-hour mark on an assist from Marcelo Weigott. And Luis Suarez credited as well in that sequence. Starry had it played back onto him. He launches a ball into the center circle. Columbus immediately back on it. Inter Miami has a 9-4 goal advantage up through the hour mark of matches this season in an MLS play, and they've not conceded 61 minutes to 75 minutes in any match this year. We are currently in minute number 52, and it's Inter Miami 1, Columbus 0. Columbus on the ball, right attacking third, far side on the touchline. Now Arfston up the left channel. Plays it through with Chambeau. Arfston still on it left of the box. Had that wiped out by Busquets. Had to retreat outside the area. Now a floated cross in. Alba did well to mark on the far post. And Kremoski approaches. And Kremoski trying to push it up the near touchline. Got played off the ball by Farsi. And Kremoski concedes a throw-in for Columbus. Jordi Alba, you can see him telling Kremoski right now, just clear it. Farsi, right attacking half for Columbus crew in yellow with their black shorts, their patented look, and a misplay by Farsi, who had the ball bounce over his right foot and across the end line with no pressure on him. Jordi Alba to throw in for Inter Miami. Alba, the first match he did not start this season in MLS play for Inter Miami. That came at Chicago 6 days ago. He came on as a substitute in the 59th minute. He's back in Javier Mascherano's 11 here today. Columbus back in possession. They dominated possession opening half. It's continuing here in half number 2. Well done by Inter Miami's defense. And that time it was Jordi Alba who cut off Morera from getting around the right side to the outside and trying to get to the end line and make a charge on Ustari. Well positioned by the super veteran Jordi Alba, the trusty Inter Miami left back. Ustari's goal kick is short. It's on to Alba. Played back to Noah Allen, and he will blast it forward, but Nagby was there initially. Had it fly off his knee, though, and the Columbus midfielder watches it Karam across the touchline on the near side, and Inter Miami will throw it in. Suarez, a nifty hooking pass near side to far side in the defensive half, and Messi has real estate to go to the outside, right side into the box. Allende low cross, and it's deflected over the goal of Schulte. It's going to be the third corner of the half in the opening 7 minutes for Inter Miami in just moments. And Inter Miami corner is brought to you by Lytle, Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Far side to near side delivery coming. I suspect this will be a Lionel Messi on the corner, per usual, at least from this side, though we did see Jordi Alba handle it moments ago, and it is Lionel Messi. Messi approaches, swipes at it to the far post. Suarez couldn't keep it in play, and it sails over his head, hits the end line, and trickles harmlessly away from anybody. That's the second time in as many weeks Messi has skied a corner like that. Rare for him. This is a very slick surface, rainfall most of the day here in Cleveland. And just prior to kickoff, it was heavy. I mean, really, really precipitous here in Northeast Ohio on the banks of Lake Erie. Got to be careful here if you're Inter Miami. A little bit sloppy in their defensive third, and Busquets is going to do the veteran thing and play back to his keeper, Oscar Ustari. Swipes it to the left, Jordi Alba. He splits two defenders, got himself into some space, and then Suarez onto Kromoski near the midfield stripe. Long ball up ahead. Kromoski giving chase. It's going to be handled by Columbus, and Kromoski commits a foul as he put his forearm to the back of Sean Zawatsky along the touchline. There was nothing flagrant about that. Kromoski puts his hands up and says, my bad. The referee, Tori Penzo, she says, I understand that, but that's the second time you've committed a foul like that, and I believe he has been warned. We welcome you to minute number 55 here in Cleveland, just over 2 hours away from the actual hometown of Columbus Crew in Ohio. Huntington Bank Field. It is the home of the Cleveland Browns. This will be a record, quote-unquote, home crowd for Columbus in franchise history today, and all it takes is a visit from the Inter Miami Roadshow to accomplish that for a second straight week, like Chicago Fire enjoyed a week ago as well. A foul in the midfield against Inter Miami's Yannick Bright. Inter Miami 1, Columbus Crew 0. Benjamin Kromoski with the Inter Miami goal. That snapped a drought of 309 consecutive minutes without an Inter Miami goal from anybody not named Lionel Messi in MLS play. Javier Mascherano will be glad to be done with that stretch. Columbus, right attack in half. In the middle, it's Morero. It's sprayed to the near right touchline. On it is Chambeau, the Frenchman. Morera had a pass deflected initially, but it's going to be caught up to by Gazdag of Columbus, and now they go near side to far side. Here's a short feed left of the box. Good job by Allende to mark Columbus on the ball. That was Arfstin who was harassed. Now here's Gazdag left of the area. Gives it up. They try to play through. It was Lujan who got physical in the box, was able to break up a 1-2 passing attempt and a potential goal-scoring opportunity. The crowd boos, but Lujan was absolutely allowed to pick out his real estate and have his space where he was. It was Chambeau who bounced off of him. Lujan did the right thing to mark him correctly. And now here is a steal for Inter Miami. Yannick Bright. Suarez tried to play it back to Bright, and Columbus won it right back. Look out here. Here's Rossi. Just outside the penalty arc for Columbus, and then a clunky foul against Sergio Busquets, who came swinging away with a right foot just outside the area, sending Arfstin soaring, and this is going to be a dangerous free kick opportunity for Columbus, and this will come from about 26 yards out. Now, Busquets was going for the ball, but then he prattled right into Arfstin, who was trying to come across left to right, just outside the penalty arc. And so in the 58th minute, and Inter Miami leading 1-0, Columbus has a free kick opportunity. And the crowd rises in anticipation, and it looks like it's going to be Diego Rossi, who scored 3 times against Inter Miami in 2024, all competitions. He stands over it with Dylan Chambeau. As we enter the 58th minute before this ball is delivered towards Oscar Ustari, the veteran Inter Miami goalkeeper. 1-0 Inter Miami. Chambeau has a left foot. Rossi has a right foot. Who's going to take it? We're about to find out as the referee comes in and sorts through traffic. Wegat for Inter Miami was mixing it up with Morera of Columbus. There's the whistle. Rossi puts his right foot into it, and it's blocked down by the Inter Miami wall. I think it was Kromoski got a head on it. And the referee has stopped play. And we're going to take a look at why. And it went off Kromoski's head, and the ball hit the referee. That's why she stopped play. Morera of Columbus was calling for a handball against Kromoski. Kromoski had his hand across his chest and up around his shoulder area. It hit him square in the forehead, so it wouldn't be a handball, and it probably wouldn't even be a handball and a point to the spot because his arm was not in an unnatural position at all. That's the reason that he put it across his chest, because he didn't want to extend it at all.
Oh, Inter Miami with a giveaway in the right, attacking third, though, after escaping that set-piece opportunity. Columbus settles into the attack. Near right touchline. Farsi tried to send it to the top of the box, picked off by Inter Miami. Suarez pushed it up ahead Allende. And now Busquets. And another giveaway way gap. It just stuck right to Columbus's Daniel Gazdag. Gazdag left of the area, swings in a low ball. It's still loose in the area. Alba fell down, and a skyward shot goes up and over Ustari's goal. Rossi was trailing from the penalty spot, and he sent it into the stratosphere. Well, once Alba hit the turf, that allowed Rossi to come in unimpeded and unmarked. Alba gave up his body. It's not as if he was just laying down on the job. He was desperately trying to defend, but the ball did not carry off of Alba the way he wanted it to, and Rossi had it served up on a platter, and he put it 20 rows deep here in Cleveland. So a goal kick, I should say, for Inter Miami. It goes the distance of the pitch, and Columbus is right back on it. We have hit the hour mark here at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Inter Miami 1, Columbus Crew 0. Benjamin Kromoski, 30 match minutes ago, is our difference. And now in the right attacking third. Farsi, a beautiful ball near side to far side. Didn't connect, but it's collected left of the box for Columbus. Now a fight for it. Rossi, can he get off a shot? Inter Miami throwing defenders at him in the box. It's finally flicked outside the area, but job not done. Farsi for Columbus inside the border of the box right side. Herrera wanted to give and go with Farsi, and Inter Miami finally extinguishes. Now Suarez in the left attacking half. He had an attempt at a delivery that was punched high up in the air, and Columbus gets it right back. But at least for the time being, Inter Miami is able to catch its breath as Columbus is asking an awful lot of questions right now. And you may be looking at a situation where Javier Mascherano is beginning to consider some defensive stalwarts to insert into this match. Columbus is coming again. Farsi up the near right's touchline. Right attacking third. Columbus meanders into that area once again. A back heel attempt to the border of the box. Alba equal to the task. Now Busquets and now Lionel Messi. Look out, he has Green in front of him. Messi has runners on either side. He's going to pick out Allende. He will carry him into the right side of the box. A low feed to Suarez. He was off the mark. Allende tried to collect then in the right channel, and he had it tackled away from behind. It has been a rough afternoon at times here for Tadeo Allende. And there are some tired legs here for Inter Miami as well, because they have been selling out defensively. 63rd minute, and Columbus coming in waves again. Angling into the right attacking half. To his left-hand side is Farsi. And now Nagbe. Nagbe controls about 40 yards away. Gazdag off the inside left channel for Columbus Crew. In yellow on to Chambeau. Chambeau is an elite distributor of the ball, but instead he's going to leak it to the outside, far left touchline. Columbus still in the right attacking third. Minute number 63 approaching. 1-0 Inter Miami on top. Retrieving a loose ball for Columbus along the touchline and spraying it back into the left defensive half. It's Yevon Shaberko. Now Columbus takes its time. Now Herrera in the center circle, goes defensive half to attacking midfield and pushes forward. Has Farsi once again, the right back for Columbus. He charges to the right side of the box. Wanted to lay it off from Herrera, and it was pushed out of there by Yannick Bright of Inter Miami. And Columbus is going to sweep it onto its keeper, Schulte, who is outside of his box, off his line, about 35 yards away. Yevon Shaberko for Columbus. The only substitution of the match to this point. Well done by Weigott to at least poke the ball away from a probing Daniel Gazdag of Columbus. Along the touchline, far side, another throw in for Columbus. Far side to near side ball, and the chase is on. Farsi had to retreat all the way from the attacking third into his defensive half to keep that from rolling out of play. Elsewhere in MLS on this Saturday, Austin has completed a 1-0 victory over LA Galaxy, whose disastrous early part of the season continues. Here in Cleveland, 64th minute, Inter Miami 1, Columbus 0. Here is a ball that's chested down left side of the box. It's leaking free outside the 6-yard area. And after a couple of pairs of legs hit at either side, Ustari is finally able to dive and bring the ball into his chest, sprawling to his right-hand side. It was a misplay by Weigand of Inter Miami at right back that allowed Columbus a free run into the box. It was Arfston who couldn't believe his great fortune that Weigand misjudged that high ball from near side to far side in the area. But then a joust for it, and Russell Rowe, swiping at it with his left foot, pushed it off Jordi Alba's knee at the border of the 6-yard area. And Ustari was able to finally stop playing. Ustari, once again, is suffering from something. This is the third time this season we have seen him go down and require medical attention. So the Inter Miami physios are out to look at Ustari. This also happened against Chicago. He was able to stay in the match. Of course, almost a month ago now against Philadelphia, had to come out in the 86th minute. So we are in minute number 65, 1-0 Inter Miami. Let's take this opportunity to take 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN West Palm.
Anna John Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Ken LaVicka back with you from Huntington Bank Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Rainy, drenched Cleveland, Ohio. On this Saturday, 1-0 Inter Miami on top of Columbus Crew. Onside engineer, the OG, Oscar Gonzalez, and Mike Rizzo back in the network studios in West Palm Beach. Columbus will throw it in right to Ustari. Good sportsmanship there. Fair play to Columbus. After the Ustari injury, he is up, he is fine. And Inter Miami on the ball in the midfield. Suarez chested on to Messi. Oh, what a nifty delivery. Swiping left foot to Allende right of the box. Allende catches up to the end of it. Send it back out to Busquets. Now Messi from 40 yards out to the left side of the area. A one-hop Kromoski. He could not keep it in play along the end line left side. It's going to be a goal kick for Columbus Crew. And Telesco Segovia is going to be Javier Mascherano's opening substitution. Luis Suarez comes off. Suarez will depart in the 67th minute. So Suarez is going to go a 9th straight match without a goal run of play and a 7th consecutive without a goal. He's frustrated, as you can imagine, but Inter Miami needs him with the first leg CONCACAF Champions Cup upcoming against Vancouver Whitecaps in the semifinals midweek. So Segovia enters the match for Inter Miami. He got the start at Chicago, available as a substitute today. And Javier Mascherano's opening salvo into his bench comes in minute number 67. 1-0 Inter Miami, a 30th minute goal. Spectacular. Weigand to Kromoski. Across from Weigand near side, found Kromoski a diving header. That is our lone tally here in front of a record home crowd for Columbus Crew, over 2 hours away in Cleveland. Gonzalo Lujan for Inter Miami from his right center back position. Has the ball to the right of his own box. He's pressured by Diego Rossi, able to pick out Weigand along the touchline far side. Now Bright is going to send it back into the area. Lujan on the run. We'll give it to the goalkeeper, Ustari. Inter Miami still in the right defensive third. And Alba could not play it out of the third. He instead punches a ball off of the hip of Mohamed Farsi of Columbus. It'll be a throw-in for Inter Miami. All the way back in their right defensive portion of the pitch, even with their own goal area. Allen, well done to escape some pressure off of this high Columbus press. We talked about it in the first half. That's the MO. High press Columbus. They are vulnerable in the back. as we saw with the Kromoski goal. Segovia for Inter Miami. Fresh legs in the center circle. Surging to the left, attacking half for the first time in forever. Inter Miami. Left of the area. Here is Kromoski. Lays it off short range Alba. They recycle spots on the pitch. Alba's cross took a deflection. Headed away by Columbus. A fight for it. Kromoski's on it in the left flank, and he'll send it back out 40 yards away to Allen. Now he's going to find a runner. Alba, sliding left of the 6-yard area. He wanted to try and feed the middle for Messi, who was coming right up the middle, and he slipped and he whiffed on it as the ball trickles across the end line. They just announced it in Cleveland. Today's attendance, 60,614. That is the all-time Columbus Crew home attendance record by nearly 30,000. As we said earlier, just shy of 32,000, 1996 for Columbus, when they welcomed in New York, New Jersey Metro Stars to Ohio Stadium, the home of Ohio State football capacity, 101,000. Lionel Messi brought in a bit more than the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars of 1996. And again, the reason this is a home match for Columbus, 2 hours away in Cleveland, is because Jimmy Haslam and the Haslam Group, owner of the Cleveland Browns, this is their home stadium. Also, they are the majority owners of Columbus Crew, and it is stipulated that Columbus can play one home match in Cleveland each season. So they pulled the Messi card and decided this was going to be that here today. 70th minute, 1-0, Inter Miami on top of Columbus. Nice sliding tackle for Yannick Bright, out of play on the near side across the touchline. It'll be a Columbus Crew throw-in, still outside the attacking third, but in the attacking half. Farsi wanted to try and feed the middle. Yannick Bright, guess who? There again to snuff that out. And now Inter Miami on the run. Allende could not get around a defender 1v1. Then he went tumbling to the turf. The referee says play on. He took contact along the ankles, in Columbus trying to capitalize on the surge up the left flank. Spraying it to the outside. Outside touchline on the left. Segovia comes up to wipe that out for Inter Miami. Well done by Segovia to keep Columbus from progressing any further forward, but Columbus is right back on the ball in the attacking midfield. Both teams have made one substitution as we approach 72 minutes in this battle of unbeatens in MLS. The only two without a defeat in 2025 in the entire league. Segovia called for a foul in the center circle as he undercut Steven Moreira, the right center back who has featured prominently in the Columbus attack here, especially in the second half. So Columbus goes to work off of their free kick. The aforementioned Moreira near right touchline, into the right attacking third comes Columbus with Farsi. Farsi holds up play, looks for options. Inter Miami, good shape defensively, and Columbus has to retreat to at least 35 yards out. Still along the near side, Farsi on to Gazdag. Gazdag, a couple of step overs, turns, and will find Farsi as Kromoski and Allen mark for Inter Miami. Moreira trying to go right to left, near side to far side, had the ball knocked away, but it rolls to Farsi of Columbus. His delivery near side is headed away by Weigand of Inter Miami, and then Allende trying to surge forward, a really heavy touch. He goes sprawling, Columbus with the steal. Inter Miami's going to have to cinch it up defensively. Rossi turns in the penalty yard, sends it right side of the area. Farsi, left-footed floater outside the 6-yard box, and Weigand there with his head to deposit that about 30 yards away. Allende then is nutmegged, and here's Columbus on the left channel. A clunky tackle. The referee says play on. Allende with the tackle will take it, but Columbus stays on the ball. It is swiped on to Chambeau. Oh, a beautiful delivery. Turning, left foot, sweeping left of the box. He thought he had picked out a teammate, but it's headed up and over the crossbar of Oscar Ustari, and Miami survives with the 1-0 advantage as we get into the 75th minute here in Cleveland. Boy, Inter Miami, how stubborn is this defensive effort right now? There's support all over the place. And yes, Gazdag got a head on that, but Jordi Alba was all over him defensively. Inter Miami's done a real good job of cutting off any sort of space for Columbus to be able to navigate. And yes, that was a punt. A Columbus punt. We are into the 74th minute. Approaching minute number 75. As I prognosticated just moments ago, left attacking half Inter Miami. Jordi Alba wanted to send it to the middle. It was behind Kromoski. Nobody home. It's rolled back onto Schulte, the Columbus goalkeeper. He'll send a sky ball all the way into the right attacking half, and Inter Miami handles that without a problem. And Ustari, without harassment, will pick up the ball 17 yards in front of his goal in the box. And we have an injured Columbus player who had spilled to the ground in the center circle. That is Dylan Shambo. Shambo acquired by Columbus last June. He is going to saunter off. A bit of a limp as he heads over to the touchline. And he's going to be substituted for. That's why we didn't see that initially. So AZ is on for Columbus. A fan favorite. So AZ on for Shambo. As Wilfred Nancy makes his second substitution, desperately looking for some sort of spark in the attack for his side. 1-0 Inter Miami. We are into the 76th minute, and we have wholesale substitutions coming for Javier Mascherano. Tomas Aviles is going to come on. He will replace Marcelo Wegat, who had maybe the assist of his career in the opening half. Maxi Falcone is going to settle into the Inter Miami defense here past 76 minutes. And it looks like we're going to see Fafa Pico as well. Yannick Bright gives way to Maxi Falcone. So we'll see what adjustments may be coming midfield and along the back line for Javier Mascherano. And here comes Fafa Pico. He is the third substitution, the fourth in total in this second half for Inter Miami. And it's Tadeo Allende who will leave the match in favor of Pico. So now the objective, see this through. Can Inter Miami cling to a one-goal lead? And a foul behind the play against Columbus as Inter Miami was trying to come forward. Jordi Alba got tripped up from behind. Both of these sides lead MLS in goal differential, tied for first, +6 coming into today. But both of these sides, Inter Miami and Columbus, only have one multi-goal win all year in MLS competition. So these two teams are very used to nail-biting and hard-fought results. Kromoski tried to feed a ball to Segovia outside the box right side. And a foul on Segovia as he stuck out his right foot. He was going to be dispossessed anyways, and Columbus with the throw-in back in their defensive third at the left side of the pitch. Columbus attacks left to right. In yellow and black. Inter Miami in black and pink. Match day number 9 in this 2025 MLS season. Inter Miami came into today fourth in the East, 3 back of East leading Columbus. Some nifty dribbling from AZ in his defensive half to clear some room. And now here's Columbus on the attack. Gazdag collects about 35 yards out, outside left channel. Plays it back now, AZ in the middle with his flow-in locks. AZ 1v1 against Aviles. Tried a pass far side to near side. It did find the mark, but having to retreat momentarily was Farsi for Columbus. Like I said, Inter Miami 3 points back at Columbus coming into today. Inter Miami 4th, Columbus at the top of the East, but Inter Miami a match in hand. Columbus still in possession. 79th minute, 1-0 Inter Miami. AZ pushes a pass just outside the left side of the box. Arvston is on it. Arvston left side of the air. Got around Falcone. Couldn't get any power on the shot, though. He did put it on goal, but Ustari, an easy save, and he goes to ground immediately to tick some time off the clock. Oscar Ustari came into today 6th in MLS in save percentage, almost 79%. That's done nothing but increase as this match has gone on. Can Inter Miami get on the ball for a little bit? That's the question. Aviles is dispossessed on the near side. Columbus shanks the ball into its left defensive half as we get into 80 minutes on this clock. This thing is taking forever to tick away as Columbus continues to dominate the ball. But it's Inter Miami with the lead on the scoreline. Falcone able to get Miami the ball here off of a defensive play where he pushed along the far right touchline, a ball off a Columbus chest and out of play. And we'll have to check the official scorekeeper's ruling on that Ustari save moments ago. I'm not sure that was on goal. That's not up for me to decide. And if it was up to me to decide, I would just say, yes, it is on goal. Segovia for Inter Miami. Good hustle in his defensive half to win a ball away from Gazdag. And now Lionel Messi, who hasn't had a touch in forever, tried to play a ball up the right channel for Pico, who was making a run, but Columbus able to sniff it out. And Inter Miami right back on it with Segovia in the center circle, but there was a tug of the jersey. Continuation had been called, advantage had been called for Columbus. And now that Inter Miami was back in possession, the referee, Tori Penso, blows her whistle, and now we're going to have our first yellow of the match show, and it's going to go against Inter Miami. Crowd applauds in appreciation, and it's Maxi Falcone, who just came on, who gets the yellow. Falcone hasn't even been in the match for 5 complete minutes, and he's in the book. First player in the book all match for as physical as this is. That is a minor miracle. Columbus, right attacking third. Falcone, well done at the edge of the box to get ahead on a delivery in there, but it's going to be a near side throw in for Columbus. It's played back into the attacking midfield right of the center circle. Sawatsky, he's a capped U.S. men's national team player. Back on to Farsi. Farsi, an ambitious near side to far post delivery from about 35 yards, and Ustari center fields it and catches it like a punt here in this NFL Cleveland Browns Stadium. So now Inter Miami trying to build out of the back. 82nd minute, look out, Noah Allen. AZ was bothering him. Allen almost had it stolen, but Allen was able to win the ball back. Pushed it back to his keeper, but Ustari, a bad ball. Strong tackle of Aviles to keep it out of trouble, and Inter Miami is going to end up winning possession as Lujan gets to it along the far right touchline. That was beautifully done by Tomas Aviles, who was nowhere near that play initially. Came running all the way from the near side, about 25 yards, to break up a potential opportunity for Columbus. But look out, because Columbus, again, has an opportunity. AZ goes left flank to right channel. AZ tries to go back the other direction, send it to the top of the penalty arc, Rossi. Rossi, heavy touch, but was able to feed it to Chaberko. Chaberko to the left of the box. Arfston, a high delivery. And Jordi Alba got the back of his head on it, but Pico had committed to it as well, and he couldn't chase it down. So Columbus has it still in the right attacking third, putting Inter Miami's defense to the test. Near right touchline, Farsi. Top of the box extended, near side, right side. Now Morera. On to Gazdag. Back to Morera. Morera, right foot, had that cross. It was deflected. It went onto the foot of Russell Rowe. He had it tackled from behind along the end line to the right of Ustari's goal. It's going to be a corner for Columbus, but it could have been so much worse. A fortuitous bounce off of Busquets, and it was Lujan who saved the day defensively from the backside. It'll be Rossi to take the corner. It's a short corner in the 83rd minute. 1-0 Inter Miami. Barrera, a very laser-like delivery near side to the middle of the area to the penalty spot. That was handled no problem by Fafa Pico, and it'll be played back into the Columbus defensive half where Schulte, the goalkeeper, comes out and gets Crew on the move. Nagbe He dances in the midfield. Segovia bothered him. Nagby able to disperse, though, behind him, and now it works its way Arfston, who's playing from the right side. Arfston, step over. Aviles cut him off, and instead, it leaks out to Morera near right touchline. Columbus back in the right attacking half. Here's a ball through to AZ. He whipped on a volley from behind. And then Falcone deflected the ball out of the box and across the far right touchline. It's going to be a throw in Columbus from the far side. Ustari is wondering where in the world his defense is. How is AZ completely unmarked? The late Columbus substitution presenting all sorts of problems for Inter Miami. And now look out, Morera has some real estate 30 yards out. Into the middle, Gazdag. Off to the near side, Arfston against Pico. Arfston, step over, left foot, inside the top of the border of the box. It's headed away by Inter Miami. Segovia swipes it out of the area. Messi, he's able to go far side to near side with a left foot. Picked out Alba. Alba up ahead, near left touchline for Fafa Pico. Pico, left attacking third. Back on to Alba. Alba turns, has no desire to go forward. And Inter Miami in the 85th minute trying to take some more time off the clock and see this through. 1-0 Inter Miami. The lone goal in this match, Ben Kromoski in the 30th minute. Falcone is going to, from his right center back spot, play it onto Ostari. And now right back to Falcone. He comes about 30 yards away from goal along the touchline, far side. Good short-range passing for Inter Miami. Finds Segovia near the center circle in the defensive midfield. Now Alba up ahead near left touchline. Pico. Pico's onside. No, he's not. Flag is up. He was offside. I spoke too soon. We have just crossed the threshold of the 86th minute. Inter Miami 1, Columbus Crew 0. And Columbus, here they come. Right side of the pitch in the attacking half. Trying to turn on the burners. This is Farsi. Lujan poked the ball out of play with a right big toe across the touchline. Quick throw in Columbus. Farsi on that same touchline in the right attacking third for Columbus. Inter Miami trying to keep it shape defensively. Gazdag inside left channel. Now Farsi. Gazdag. And Farsi was wiped out by Lujan along the touchline. And Lujan's going to get a card. So Lujan making heavy contact with Farsi as Gazdag was trying to spring him up the outside left channel. And that's the second yellow in a 4-minute span for Inter Miami. That was pretty clear. '87th minute. 1-0 Inter Miami. And a free kick as Inter Miami makes another substitution. It's final, and it's David Martinez. David Martinez comes on for Inter Miami. This is going to be a goal kick from near the far left touchline for Columbus in the right attacking third. This comes from about 26 yards. This is sent to the penalty spot, headed away by Falcone, and then Messi bicycles it out of the box. And then Jordi Alba, some nifty footwork to pop it up and over a Columbus player, keep possession, and now Inter Miami, the run is on for Segovia, and he is offside as he was trying to charge at the ball near left touchline, left attacking third. He was in the center circle, and then he started absolutely sprinting at that ball. But the flag was up. He was well offside. But we are into the 88th minute. Can Inter Miami at least grab a spell of possession for about 90 seconds or so? Would do this side an awful lot of good. Gazdag in the attacking midfield near side for Columbus, who attack left to right. Ben Kromoski's goal has it 1-0 Inter Miami. That came at the 30-minute mark. Look out here. Good ball forward. Russell Rowe. He tried to feed it to AZ. And Inter Miami able to get in there. And the ball pops off of AZ in the box. And it rolls across the end line to the left of the goal. AZ shot it from the penalty arc. I thought he had lost possession. But AZ had to shoot it because Pico and Falcone were coming on so hard defensively. AZ panicked. And he was way off the mark with that shot. Another piece of good defending by Inter Miami. 89th minute, 1-0. Inter Miami on top. Jordi Alba sweeps the ball away from behind, but Inter Miami gives it right back. Now Nagbe in the center circle for Columbus. Columbus sends numbers forward. Nagbe in front of his center circle, bothered by Busquets, and he's going to defer to Farsi. He's on the near side on the touchline, nearing the right attacking third, not quite in it. Now into the middle. This is Chaberco for Columbus. Sprays it to the outside left. Arfton, look out. Arfton right foot. It went off of the head of Pico. Falls to Farsi outside the area, right side. He'll lob it up into the middle of the box. Falcone clears it out of the area, at least for now. A back heel from Aviles out of the penalty arc. And now the race is on for Messi far side. He could not win that ball, though. Well done by Columbus Zawadzki. And then a foul against Inter Miami. They concede a free kick in the 90th minute from about 28 yards as Zawadzki goes to ground. Busquets laying in pain. The foul is on him, and a very dangerous set-piece free kick coming for Columbus with Inter Miami clinging, hanging on for dear life by the fingertips to this 1-0 advantage. Oh, boy, it is never easy. Andres Herrera is substituting on for Wilfred Nancy in Columbus. Steven Moreira's day is done. Andres Herrera takes his place. As we tick to minute number 91, we have 5 added minutes. 5 additional minutes presented by your local South Florida Audi dealers. Test drive the new Q6 e-tron today at your local South Florida Audi dealer or visit AudiOffers.com to learn more. Rossi stands over it. He will lob it top of the box, right side of the box, I should say. It is pushed to the top of the area. Chaberco couldn't get anything on it with a spinning shot attempt. Cleared by Inter Miami. It's launched across the near touchline. It's going to be a Columbus throw-in. I'm not real sure what Columbus was trying to do there on that set piece, but it was a mess. It was well marked by Noah Allen. Allen ran into Zawadzki on that delivery left side of the box. Columbus is claiming there should be a foul in the area. The referee and VAR said no, incidental contact. Now here comes Columbus up the left channel. Chaberco, left of the area, Arfston. Arfston 1v1 against Lujan, who gave him a little bit of a push. And now Rossi. Rossi at the angle left side of the area. He sends in a low cross, and Gazdag nearly near post, right-footed it, sideswiped it into the goal. It leaks wide, right across the end line near post. And I believe it was Martinez for Inter Miami that got the final touch. No, it is off on Gazdag. That would be a difficult angle. Gazdag tried to get some propulsion behind that short-range attempt on the near post on the Arfston delivery, but instead, he sent it directly out of play. Goal kick, Ustari and Inter Miami, and Columbus has to go retreat and win the ball back in its defensive third. 93rd minute we approach. 5 added minutes are halfway done here in Cleveland as the crowd gets into it. A foul against Aviles of Inter Miami in the attacking midfield for Columbus, and here's the restart. AZ up the near right touchline. It's sent near side to far side and across, and it just missed Gazdag. It was coming up the middle, and it is across the end line, far post out of play. Inter Miami survives again. Oh, my goodness. It was a wonderful ball from Herrera from the near side. Gazdag was unmarked in the middle of the box. He slid and he couldn't make contact with it. Any touch, and it's probably in the back of the net. We are now at 93-40 of 5 additional minutes. 1-0 Inter Miami. Can Inter Miami find a way to get on the ball? The answer is no, and here comes Columbus again. Herrera in the attacking midfield. Here he comes near side. Up the touchline to Farsi. Farsi cuts into the right channel. Bad ball into the box. Martinez takes care of that for Inter Miami. Here comes Noah Allen. Allen tries to nutmeg Farsi of Columbus. It goes off of Farsi. Nutmeg not completed, but throw-in achieved for Inter Miami near midfield. 94-16. We have played nearly 4.5 minutes of 5 additional. Can Inter Miami get 3 points in the table and at least momentarily head back to the top of the East? Allen has taken his sweet time with the throw-in. Allen to Alba, heads it behind him to Segovia, but Columbus right back on it. Well done by Segovia to go up over the top of Nagbe. Now Messi from the center circle with Schulte off his line. Tried to swipe the ball but didn't get enough air on it towards goal, and Schulte catches it on a hop. 94-55, final kick territory. AZ in the box. Cuts it to his left foot in the penalty yard. Left side of the area. Armstead against Lujan. Armstead sent it low to the left of the 6-yard box. They fight for it. Inter Miami initially poked it away from goal, but Columbus still on it. Outside the area, left-footed shot was blasted and blocked away by Inter Miami. It heads towards the midfield. Alba has it for Inter Miami. And the final whistle blows. Game over. Inter Miami beats Columbus Crew again. They do it in front of a record home Crew crowd, and they hang on for the victory. All 3 points to Inter Miami. Benjamin Kromaski with the goal that gives Inter Miami a path back to the top of the table. Your final from Cleveland, Inter Miami 1, Columbus Crew 0. Oh, an absolute heart stopper. Inter Miami was defending it for its collective life in the final half an hour. 2 glorious back-to-back opportunities for heralded in-season acquisition Daniel Gosdog for Columbus. He couldn't direct a shot on target either opportunity. Inter Miami then was under siege in the closing moments, but did not allow any sort of open channel to direct a shot at Ustari from very close range. And Inter Miami, an extremely hard-earned 3 points in the table. And our man of the match honors are going to be Benjamin Kromaski. You can make the case for Marcelo Weigand as well, because not only did he have the assist for Kromaski, but Weigand really strained and ground his way to a strong defensive effort for Inter Miami. But Ben Kromaski with his first goal of the MLS season. And Inter Miami goes from 4th to 1st, pending results from the rest of MLS Match Day 9. Just like they did in October to clinch the Supporters' Shield, Inter Miami beats Columbus Crew on the road, but this time in Cleveland in front of 60,000 plus, the largest home crowd in the heralded history of Columbus Crew's privileged existence. And Oscar Ustari with another clean sheet. Ustari once again real strong in goal. And Inter Miami's defense, did they bend? Sure. But did they break? No. And that's been the story of Inter Miami in 2025. Inter Miami snaps the winless skid. They're now 5-0-3 on the campaign, and they hand Columbus Crew their first loss of 2025. Inter Miami, the lone remaining unbeaten in MLS play. Want to thank Oscar Gonzalez, the OG. Mike Rizzo has your post-game show when we come back. Inter Miami 1, Columbus Crew 0, full time. This is Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN West Palm.
News on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
At PNC Bank, they pride themselves on being boring.
But the truth is, they couldn't be more excited to serve the South Florida community. For nearly 160 years, they've quietly toiled away to deliver brilliant results for their equally brilliant clients. Now, their dedicated financial teams are ready to do the boring work to help you unlock your own brilliance. Let's see what boring banking can do for you. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. Theo here, and for me, EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing is my go-to, and it should be yours too. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They'll make sure your air and water flow perfectly. EDS is a train comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. Go to edsisyes.com. That's edsisyes.com. When comfort matters, EDS is yes.
PNC Bank couldn't be more excited to serve the South Florida community. But you may be wondering, isn't PNC that boring bank? Well, is starting a business or being the first person in your family to go to college boring? For 160 years, they've done the occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results for their clients. That's why they have dedicated teams throughout the local area ready to help you unlock your own brilliance. See what boring banking can do for you. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami Postgame Show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Good ball, Suarez on the runaway guy. He got it. Right of the box. Sends it. A beautiful cross into the 6-yard box. A diving header goal. Ben Kromowski. How wonderful was that? We got the unlikely assist. Kromowski soaring into the play, and he beats Patrick Schulte. Something out of nothing, and at the half-hour mark, it's 1-0 Inter Miami.
Inter Miami survives in Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome on in to the post-game show on your Inter Miami radio network. Mike Rizzo here. And Inter Miami surviving an assault, a barrage of second-half chances for the Columbus Crew. A 1-0 win for the Inter Miami Herons. And we're going to go through the match facts here. We're going to do the first half highlights, second half highlights here on the post-game show. But these match facts, if you're a Columbus Crew supporter and you didn't look at the scoreline and you looked at the match facts, you'd think you won this game 3-0. Well, that's not the case, and that's why football is one of the best sports around. Inter Miami gets the victory 1-0. Our Herons now back in first place on that Eastern Conference table. They still have 8 games played comparatively to 9 games played for most of other MLS teams. Obviously, Inter Miami has been going deep into the CONCACAF Champions Cup competition, and rescheduling's needed to happen. But a 1-0 victory for the Herons today. And your match facts brought to you by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Get on out to your local South Florida Audi dealer today. Test drive that brand new Audi Q6 e-tron today. Visit AudiOffers.com to learn more. That is AudiOffers.com to learn more. Well, the Columbus Crew dominated the possession 58% to 42 during the game. XG, expected goals, folks. Listen to this. 3.14 for the Columbus Crew. 3.14 for the Columbus Crew on the XG. They had 0 on the game, and your Inter Miami Herons, who won 1-0, 0.86. 0.86 expected goals for the Herons. 16 total shots for the Columbus Crew, 8 big chances. 7 total shots for the Inter Miami Herons, 1 big chance for the Inter Miami Herons. So those are a bit of match facts throughout the game. 2 cards were distributed during the game. They were all in the second half, all on our Inter Miami Herons. Maxi Falcone picked up a yellow in the 82nd, and then Gonzalo Luan in the 87th. So 82 and 87th, the central defenders that were in the game at the time picking up the cards. Maxi Falcone came on as a substitute. Falcone came on in the 77th minute for Yannick Bright. Coach Mascherano wanted to go more of a defensive-centric side in that second half once he saw Inter Miami wasn't necessarily creating a lot of chances. So he subbed out Yannick Bright and put in Maxi Falcone, and Toto Aviles came on for Marcelo Wigand. So you kind of had Aviles playing center back for a bit, and then once Maxi Falcone subbed on, they kind of went to more towards of a 5-ish in the back and really hold the line and hold the fort. But we're going to be hearing in those second half highlights here coming up. There wasn't much of holding anything. Columbus really did a good job of getting shots on target, but number one, fair play to Oscar Ustari. He's been the best goalkeeper in the MLS so far this year. And the last 3 weeks, I could argue there hasn't been a better goalkeeper on this side of the hemisphere in the football verse in all of the sport. Well, those are your match facts on the game. 1-0, a big win for Inter Miami in this one. Benjamin Kremoski with a header goal assisted by Marcelo Wigand in the 30th minute in the first half was the only goal in the game. Plenty of chances for the Columbus Crew in the second half, but Inter Miami, Candy barred the door. They barred the door and got the win. Let's take our first time out. When we come back, we'll hear first half highlights on your Inter Miami radio network.
As market dynamics change, the quality and service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at kaisergolfcenter.com.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Trans World Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
PNC Bank couldn't be more excited to serve the South Florida community. But you may be wondering, isn't PNC that boring bank? Well, is starting a business or being the first person in your family to go to college boring? For 160 years, they've done the occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results for their clients. That's why they have dedicated teams throughout the local area ready to help you unlock your own brilliance. See what boring banking can do for you. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association member FDIC.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami Postgame Show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Up the near right touchline. It's sent near side to far side and across, and it just missed Gosstock. It was coming up the middle, and it is across the end line. Far post out of play. Inter Miami survives again.
Welcome on back to the Inter Miami postgame show. Mike Rizzo here, 1-0. The Herons with a win against the Columbus Crew at Cleveland Brown Stadium. They held off the surging attack from the Columbus Crew in that second half, but it is now time to go through the first half highlights right here on the Inter Miami Radio Network. Let's get things started off with the Columbus Crew's very first chance and the first chance in the game.
Starry was off his line, has to retreat back in front of his goal. He was all the way left border of the box. Now Gosstock, left wing, just outside the area, sends it to the left side of the box. Arfstead got around Wagan, floats across to the far post right side, took a deflection off a head, winding up, and a left-footed shot was blocked, but the job not done, and finally Columbus possession over as Wagan is able to shield Arfstead off the ball and it rolls across the end line for an Ustari goal kick.
For about the first 30 minutes of the game, both of these teams were feeling each other out. Couple of chances, and Inter Miami started their chances off with Lionel Messi.
Messi off the restart, floats the ball left side of the box, and it was touched by Alba to the edge of the 6-yard area. Wanted Suarez, late marking there from Columbus, and it is deflected across the end line. This is going to be an Inter Miami corner. What a great ball from Messi. Good idea from Alba.
And then next in the 30th minute, I mentioned both of these teams kind of in the feeling out stage, but Inter Miami pulls ahead, and ultimately they pulled ahead for good because there's no other goal in the game.
Good ball, Suarez on the runaway guy. He got it right of the box, sends it, a beautiful cross into the 6-yard box, a diving header goal. Ben Kromowski, how wonderful was that? Wagan, the unlikely assist. Kromoski soaring into the play, and he beats Patrick Schulte. Something out of nothing, and at the half-hour mark, it's 1-0 Inter Miami.
So that's the goal that put Inter Miami up 1-0, ultimately put them up 1-0 for the rest of the game. But folks, when we come back, we will be hearing the second half highlights, the barrage of chances that the Columbus Crew had. I take you into break with a possible worldly goal that Lionel Messi almost had before this first half was over.
Messi off the restart, floats the ball left side of the box, and it was touched by Alba to the edge of the 6-yard area. Wanted Suarez, late marking there from Columbus. Here in the right, attacking third, Lionel Messi charging forward to his left foot, a twirler just wide of the far post. Nearly world-class striking from Messi from 30 yards. Oh, he did not miss by much. He had Nagby on skates, and he missed it by about 6 inches on the far post. But that draws oohs and ahs from this Cleveland crowd.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
The powers that be want you to believe that sunspots are interfering with our signal from ESPN Radio. Little flares from 93 million miles away, disrupting the feed of my station? Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. Oh, sure, scientists say solar storms mess with satellites, right when I'm a Bill Belichick? Forget it. Tune in before sunrise when we're immune to the sun's so-called harmful rays. Wake up with Unsportsmanlike on ESPN 106.3 before the sun starts its daily attack.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami Postgame Show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Welcome on back, folks. Our final segment of the post-game show. We are powered by your local South Florida Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com to learn more. And make sure you get on out to your local South Florida Audi dealer to test drive that brand new Q6 e-tron. Let's get right in to the second half highlights here. And the barrage I've been mentioning, folks, since the game has been over, the barrage of chances that the Columbus Crew had in the second half. Let's start on off with Russell Rowe, the striker for Columbus Crew.
Russell Rowe, he took a pass in the middle of the Inter Miami defense, and he thought he was fouled. The ball trickled onto Rossi. He let it fly from 23 yards out with a right foot and a diving hand save for Ustari, and he didn't give up a rebound. It should never have even come to that, Ustari having to make his save, because either A, it was a foul against Inter Miami, or a handball against Russell Rowe, who clearly touched the ball while he was on the ground, and the referee let it play on and allowed Rossi to run up and send a missile Ustari's way, but it's the second save of the day for Oscar Ustari, equal to the task once again.
So that was a big chance. Russell Rowe setting up Diego Rossi. The second one I'm going to play now, Rossi with another chance in the second half, but ultimately does not go his way.
Swings in a low ball. It's still loose in the area. Alba fell down, and a skyward shot goes up and over Ustari's goal. Rossi was trailing from the penalty spot, and he sent it into the stratosphere.
We've now made it into the 70th minute. and Columbus Crew with another chance gone to waste.
It is swiped on to Chambeau. Oh, a beautiful delivery. Turning, left foot, sweeping left of the box. He thought he had picked out a teammate, but it's headed up and over the crossbar of Oscar Ustari, and Miami survives with the 1-0 advantage as we get into the 75th minute here in Cleveland.
Don't have to wait long, because in the 78th minute, Oscar Ustari with a big-time save, like he's done so many times the last 3 fixtures.
Arston is on it. Arston left side of the air. Got her on Falcone. Couldn't get any power on the shot, though. He did put it on goal, but Ustari an easy save. And he goes to ground immediately to tick some time off the clock.
So Ustari coming up with that save. It was a near post shot. Not a lot of power on it, but still had to make it. And then these next 3 chances, 83rd and on. Here's Columbus Crew in the 83rd minute with another chance.
Right foot, had that cross. It was deflected. It went onto the foot of Russell Rowe. He had it tackled from behind along the end line to the right of Ustari's goal. It's going to be a corner for Columbus, but it could have been so much worse. A fortuitous bounce off of Busquets, and it was Lujan who saved the day defensively.
So Gonzalo Lujan coming up big, saving the day for the Herons there. This was the one, folks. This was the one. Gazdag got a hand. So what happens is the Crew have this ball in the Heron box, and a cross comes into Gazdag. No one's around him. It's a cross. He's got 2 defenders who's right and left, but he's got the ball right in front of him. All he has to do is tap it in with that left foot. He ultimately misses, and this was the biggest chance of the game.
Rossi at the angle left side of the area. He sends in a low cross, and Gazdag nearly near post, right-footed it, sideswiped it into the goal. It leaks wide, right across the end line near post. And I believe it was Martinez for Inter Miami that got the final touch. No, it is off on Gazdag.
Yeah, so Gazdag, folks, if you see the replay, man, this was a brilliant grounder cross, and Gazdag was on the other end. All he had to do was tap that into the net. Ustari was beat, and it didn't happen. And once again, the Herons surviving 3 XG. The expected goal for the Columbus Crew in this game was 3. That is unheard of, to not have a goal at this level of soccer in the MLS and to not score. It was good defense by the Herons all game long, but at the same time, man, Oscar Ustari came up big with saves, and a lot of the Columbus Crew were just not clinical in front of net. Here's our last highlight of the halftime show and the last big chance that Inter Miami survived.
Up the near right touchline. It's sent near side to far side on a cross, and it just missed Gazdag. It was coming up the middle, and it is across the end line, far post, out of play. Inter Miami survives again.
And that ultimately ended up being the last chance that the Herons had to defend against. A couple of minutes later, about a minute and a half later, rather, not even a couple, about a minute and a half later, the final whistle was blown, and Inter Miami winners 1-0 over the Columbus Crew at Cleveland Brown Stadium. Well, folks, I want to thank a bunch of people. Number one, thank you to our good friend Ken Levicka, who did such a great job on the call today, as he always does. Thank you to Oscar Gonzalez, our OG on site. Appreciate Oscar. Juan Pinzone, our communications director on the Inter Miami side. Brian Rowitz, our content director here at ESPN 1063. Your first place, Inter Miami Herons now. Your first place, Inter Miami Herons, after this win against the Columbus Crew, will be back in action coming up against Orlando. That game, or excuse me, against Vancouver. I'm sorry, we got the Champions CONCACAF. We got the CONCACAF Champions Cup coming up on the 24th. That's this Wednesday. It's a 10:30 start time against Vancouver. And then on Sunday, it is against Dallas. It's a home game at Chase Stadium, 5 o'clock against Dallas FC. So Vancouver and the CONCACAF Champions Cup all the way out west and north in Vancouver. And then Sunday, the matchup, the MLS match week 10, Inter Miami against Dallas FC. Thank you again to everybody, and everyone have a great night. Appreciate you listening. We'll catch up to you next week.
We now return to our regularly scheduled programming already in progress on ESPN 106.3.